Okay, so I have a stupid question for you guys. It's the first few will be quick. The last two is the one I want the real answers for. So,
A lot of questions, a barrage of questions, if you will.
well,
A
it's the same
380
question.
millimeter barrage.
If you had to choose, so we've had you had to live in a game world before.
Yes. Yeah.
So now we're looking at, given the choice, would you choose the film version of this world or the game version of this world? Because as we know, they are very, very different.
Always.
Yeah,
Adaptations don't always
So
do well.
there's the first few we'll rattle off. Hitman is pretty much the real world. So
I'd want to live in the game world
with Hitman in.
Yeah.
Are we,
game world.
In this scenario, are we nearby to Agent 47? Are we in its vicinity?
This is
are we going to
kind of this is kind of part of the question. Would you be Hitman? Would you have Hitman chasing you?
Oof! I don't think I've done anything wrong enough for him to chase me.
Yes, you have.
But he might just need your disguise to get the job done.
Can we be the next elusive target?
Yeah,
the garnish.
Next one, Street Fighter.
Ooh, as in which film?
Would you? Well, yeah, that's a good question.
New film or?
No, old film. We're going old film.
Old film.
Old film. I want to meet Ralph Julia.
Bit of Van Damme.
I think I'd want to be in the game because I feel like it's more fantastical.
Yeah,
it is.
I'd like to have flaming fists.
Yeah,
just assuming that I'm a superpowered individual in this scenario.
Mortal Kombat is it similar?
I'm just a guy in the background.
Then again, Mortal Kombat, I don't want to be the guy in the background because he's
Mortal Kombat's a bad one.
I wouldn't want to park my car in the Street Fighter universe.
No.
Come back and it's just gone.
Sonic.
Ooh.
Again, the difficulty there is the real world, isn't it, for Sonic?
I think I'd like the Sonic films universe better.
Yeah, to be honest, I
quite like Jim Carrey as Dr. Eggman.
Yeah, there's been
agreed.
There's been a few humans in the Sonic games, hasn't there? But
I also feel like the games are kind of creating like a liminal space. I feel like living in that.
Yeah, like they could not exist.
Insane. No, exactly. The grass is too flat.
I think the checkered might drive you a bit up the wall.
Just having seizures all the time.
Yeah, you're walking too fast and you just fall over.
Yeah,
Mario.
Drop loads of coins. Mario. Oh, which film?
Yeah, not the Bob Hoskins one.
No, I'm going 1993.
Oh, God. Well, they call it Hell, don't they? The Mushroom Kingdom.
Ooh. Again, which game though? It's all very.
Mario Galaxy, I'm in.
Dramatically.
I'm living in Mario Sunshine.
Oh, you got to play Delfino Plaza. Let's go there.
I'm going 2D.
Oh,
I'm going early Mario.
Wow.
Oh, well. How could we even see each other? It's 2D.
So these are the real ones that I wanted to ask the question about. So Resident Evil.
Games or films?
Games or films. Where would you rather live? For me, even though it's the Resident Evil universe, the films were utter toss, so no.
fair. So
I feel like living in the film world is potentially less threatening because it's all kind of localized.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's pretty localized in the games, though.
Isn't it like all over America now in the latest?
Yeah, it spreads in the first set of films, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What about the UK? Because we're not in it.
Oh, we might be all right, yeah.
All right.
I think the games. I think I'd go with the games.
Maybe it's a reverse 28 years scenario where the UK is the only safe place.
Yeah, it's an island.
Yeah.
Last one, Silent Hill.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
I just don't want to live.
Well, the film's not out yet.
No, I agree.
As long as we stay away from Silent Hill, I'd live in the.
That's not how it works, though. You are drawn to Silent Hill. That is it.
There have been other films, haven't there? I've just not actually seen them. Yeah,
I've only seen the trailer for the latest one.
Yeah, what was it, 04? Something like that. It was made.
Mm-hmm. But then the new one, Return to Silent Hill. I genuinely cannot get a read on that film. I think it's going to be a bad film.
I think it looks like it's going to be good.
Hopefully.
The effects from the trailer, they look decent.
Hopefully. But I do not want to live in Silent Hill. No.
So that's not the answer that you can
I'm going
give.
to say game because I can respawn.
Yeah, I could see that.
Although, do you want to respawn?
Yeah.
It just would be put out your misery.
Die terribly
I think
again.
Most of these are game.
Yeah. It's just more fantastical, isn't it?
I can argue with the Sonic ones. I'd rather live in the film, to be fair.
I'm actually surprised you didn't ask Fallout.
No, well, he was
We
on
might
the
find
list,
out
but
soon
that would be too deep. That would be too. That's not this kind of question.
Well, apparently it's the same universe, so
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, true.
Well, all that being said, we are Gaming Garnish. Hello, and welcome to another fantastic episode. This is how I introduce. So, I'm Ben. I'll be your host. I'm joined by Joe.
Hello.
Brad.
Hello.
And Jake.
Hello.
I'm not used to that order.
Like I said, I thought it was going to be a bit of a silly question because I couldn't really word it well.
It was fun.
So, what have you been playing, Brad?
Oh, well, I do apologise. I am ill at the moment. I seem to have caught this illness that Ben had last episode. So I might have to
Since June, you mean? Since June.
What have I been playing? I've been playing a few things. I've been playing our backlog game, which I won't talk about just yet. But other than that, I've been playing two major games. I've been playing Dying Light the Beast, for one.
Ooh,
so I got that over Christmas. Really, really enjoy the Dying Light games. And it is more Dying Light.
I was just going to say, how does it compare to 1 and 2?
Didn't it take a dip? So after 1, it took a dip because they changed some things. Speaking to a friend at work, he was saying...
Yeah, so a lot of people think that the second one is worse than the first one. I don't necessarily agree. I think some aspects of it, I think you can argue are worse, but they did improve like the gameplay and the parkour system and stuff. That it was all improved. There's a lot more moves you can do. But it was more like gameplay tweaking. So I think they added like stamina to your parkour, which people didn't like. Now they've reversed that for the Beast. You don't have stamina.
Oh, excellent. That's where I was going. Is it more like the original that people loved more?
It's kind of like, I would say it's more like the original, but with the improvements from 2. So all the gameplay tweaks that people didn't like, they've kind of reversed, but they've added all the extra stuff from the second one that made it better.
It's the best of both worlds.
Whoa. And have you found Bobber?
Bobber?
Yeah, if you don't know, Google it.
No, so they've always got loads of like fun Easter eggs to Dying Light games. I've not looked into any on this one yet. I usually like to get like a good chunk of the game through and then start looking. So I've not done that yet. The other like improvements have made compared to, I think on the first one there was the firearms. I think there was some guns in it, but they were really bad. In the second one, I think they got rid of guns altogether. In this one, I think I know they've brought them back, but they're much improved from the first one. But like the ammo economy is really tight because you're still supposed to be meleeing.
Apocalypse.
Yeah. I think there's only one map. Typically in Dying Light games, there's 2 maps. But because this started off as a DLC, it is a bit of a smaller experience. It's still like a full length game, but it's like smaller in terms of like content, if that makes sense. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it makes it quite sort of condensed.
I played Dying Light 2, and I did find the 2 maps thing a bit odd. Because once you get to the second map, you don't really want to go back to the first.
No, I think the idea, and it was the same in the first one, the idea is the first map is kind of like a training area where the buildings are lower. So like you're learning your parkour and you're less at risk.
Yeah.
And by the time you get to the second map, you're much more likely to fall off and die.
Yeah, like skyscrapers in the second map.
Yes.
Too.
So the buildings aren't as tall as I had this one. But fundamentally, it is another Dying Light game. I'm really enjoying it, and the story's fine. It's a propellant to move you forward through the world. But it's just things like the parkour that I just find really, really interesting that no game ever does, or no game ever does as well as this. And then when you go and play another game, you kind of forget that you can't just parkour to the point where it almost feels like the set of movement mechanics from Dying Light should just be in every game.
Nice.
Because it just feels...
I felt that when I played Titanfall 2. I thought, this is what every game needs.
But Titanfall, I get it. But Titanfall is obviously more sort of like fantastical. It's not as realistic, is it? You're like jet boosting and running on walls and stuff. Whereas this is far more grounded. It feels like an actual person doing these, like climbing these walls.
It's more like Mirror's Edge sort of movement.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
But like you can do it on anything. So you see a building and you can start climbing it, and he actually grabs the facades and like the window panes.
The wall doesn't have to be painted orange or red.
Exactly. So it just works. As Todd Howard would say. And when you then play another game and you see a building, you're like, I want to just kind of climb that, and you can't. It's always a bit immersion breaking. So I I just find that element of the Dying Light games really, really good. I am finding this one harder. I don't know why, but I'm getting surrounded by zombies really quickly. Like I'll find 1 or 2 zombies in the street and I'll start hitting them. Especially early game, you don't like lob the heads off like straight away. It takes quite a few hits, at which point you've kind of not got a lot of melee stamina. So you do still have stamina in like the melee gameplay. And before you know it, more zombies are coming from all the alleyways, and you've got some faster zombies who'll run at you, and you've got different zombie types. One's that's like spit at you, and one's that jump at you. I
suppose that's not a bad thing, though, is it's the third of its type, you know?
Yeah, and it's really immersive because you do get swarmed very quickly, and then if there's like human enemies, they'll shoot you because they've got guns.
When you become the beast, do the zombies still attack you, or are you one of them for a bit?
Yeah, the zombies still attack you.
Okay.
The beast mode was something that I wasn't too sure about when it first was shown off, because I usually don't like those sort of modes in games where
like a get out of jail free card.
Rage.
Yeah, as you say, Joe, it's like get out of jail free. That especially in a game like this where you kind of want to feel vulnerable.
Yeah,
it always feels a bit cheap. Now, when the game first starts, you can't choose when you go into rage.
Oh.
And every time it did, I was like, oh, for God's sake, I had like 1 or 2 zombies left. I didn't really want that to happen. As you progress, you get a bit of control over it. So now I can choose, which is a bit better because I can choose to use it when I'm about to die.
Yeah. Is it at the beginning, is it like a time-based thing, like a certain time of day it happens, or
no? It's just like the more damage you take.
Oh, okay.
And maybe the more damage you do, your character starts getting angrier. But there's a bar.
Okay.
So
stress meter.
Yeah. So that mechanic, I've grown to actually quite like, and because the game feels harder, it gives you a bit of respite. You know, when you do get surrounded. There's quite a few times where there's like a mission, you'll have to defend something, for example, and you get surrounded by so many enemies so quickly that are then attacking the thing you're defending.
Oh,
and
no.
It's hard. Like, unless you just get your gun out and spray, it's really hard. Because the guns do a lot of damage as well. Like, 1 shot to a zombie's head will, like, destroy it, basically. And the gore is really, really gruesome.
So it has the dismembering mechanics of Dead Island, doesn't it?
Better.
This game.
Better.
Okay.
Yeah, Dead Island always felt a bit canned. Like, yes, it was gruesome, but it kind of like
there was no weight to it.
It was always locked at the same place. It was always
exactly. This feels a lot more. What's the word?
Visceral.
Visceral, but like where you swing your weapon and it hits, a chunk will come off in that place. If you keep hitting it, you'll cut them in half there, or you'll chop the leg off there, or you'll chop half of the head off. You use like a blunt weapon and it'll like crack the skull open instead of like chopping it off. Okay. Things like that. So it's like it really does make a difference.
Way better.
And it's pretty gnarly. And the guns are great because they say you just spray them, and when they die, you go over to them and they're all just in bits. Gnarly. But yeah, so I was saying it's quite hard. In those moments when you have to kill loads of enemies and you're running out of stamina, but then you're still swarming you. Remember in Left 4 Dead? And you could push.
Yeah.
And then they changed it so you could only push so many times.
Because it takes so much stamina to do.
Feels like that very quickly, which is intentional. And it works 90% of the time. But in those moments when you have to kill enemies and you have to defend something, it can get a bit ropey because it's hard. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. The only problem I'd say with it, and it's nothing to do with the game, it's more the time I've chosen to play it, because the backlog game, and the other game I'm going to talk about with Jake in a minute are all very much loot-driven games where you're looting for resources, bandages, you're making stuff, and it has gotten to the point where
welcome to my world.
You're crafted out.
Yeah, very much crafted out, and trying to remember the crafting resources that I have between both games, or between all 3 games, and what they do is driving me a little bit mad. But that's more of a problem with when I've chosen to play it.
It's always a problem with you. It's always a problem.
Yes, it is.
I definitely get that.
Oh,
I'm going through a similar actually with mine.
I can imagine.
It's button flipping that's the problem.
The other thing I wanted to mention was the night it feels a lot more terrifying, because every time I've been caught out at night, I have been killed.
Wow.
Because of the
decent pressure then.
Yeah, because I only played 2, and it was a bit scary at night because harder enemies would come out. And you would have to run away from the big guys, but it wasn't that bad.
No, and this one, I don't know if they just seem faster, they catch up to you quicker, they spot you easier, you get surrounded very quickly, maybe there's fewer safe rooms as well. So it's really hard. Like I had a moment, it was like from a film where I was like driving, because you can drive in this as well. Got limited fuel in the vehicles. And it was night time. I was like, oh no, safe rooms miles away. So I ran and got in this car. You could barely see because it was dark. I had these monsters chasing me, and then I ran out of fuel.
No.
Yeah, I died.
I'm assuming there's some missions set at night as well.
At the moment, I think I've had the one that introduces you to it.
Yeah.
But other than that, no. But to be honest,
it's coming.
Avoid night. So
yeah.
It's coming.
It will come. I remember the second one. It was like, yeah, you've got to wait tonight to go in there, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
serious.
Yeah,
we will see. But enjoying it so far.
Cool. Well, you've slightly alluded to it. Do you want to talk about the other game you've been playing?
That makes the handover from Brad to Jake work quite well. So yeah, less work on my part.
So just after Christmas, I think it was just after Christmas.
Yeah.
Me and Jake bought Arc Raiders.
We did.
We thought we'll see what the hype is about.
And it's pretty hype, I'm not going to lie.
It's pretty hype. It is very good.
I was really unsure about this because it's basically a loot survival
It's an
shooter.
extraction
shooter. Yeah, that's a better way of explaining it. And I've never really liked... Well, I think I've tried a handful, but not really ever got into them. But this is like hooked me.
Yeah.
Nearly immediately.
And I have found, I'm even playing this like solo a bit, like where I probably should be playing Dying Light. I'm actually finding when I've only got like half an hour, I'm doing a couple runs on this.
That's enough time, isn't it?
Raid.
Yeah. So the general premise for anyone who doesn't know is there's a few maps, but when you start the game, you've only got the one map. You load into the map with your equipment, so weapons, ammo, whatever you want to take in.
Yeah, you've got to select what you want to take in.
You go in, you've got a time limit. So I think each map has half an hour, but depends when you join. You might join and there's only 20 minutes left on the map. And in that time, you have to go in, loot stuff, and extract, basically. If you die in the world, you lose everything you've taken in. Well, everything you had on you at the time. So you obviously really want to get out. Whilst you're in the world, you're contending with robot enemies, which are the Ark.
I was going to ask what are the enemies. I've never seen a clip where they're fighting the actual enemy. They're always fighting other people.
Well, or there's other people. So it's a PvEVP game. So there are other people in the world you can fight. As there is no PvE mode like as standard. You have to have other people in the world, but you obviously can choose to fight them.
That was an interesting thing I saw about the aggressors, the aggressive people.
Yeah, so it's
the matchmaking.
That.
Yeah, it's come out recently that the I can't remember what the studio is called now.
The same one as the final.
Embark.
That's
Embark have revealed that there is matchmaking that pairs more aggressive players to each other. So the more people you kill, the more likely you'll get put in PvP lobbies, which is fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Ark enemies, there's loads of them actually. I'm really surprised how many different ones there are, and they're all unique in how they fight, and also how you kill them. So like your basic enemies, like a wasp, for example, it's like a little flying
drone.
Yeah, like a 4-propeller drone, and they come at you and they shoot you. Pretty straightforward. To kill them, you can just keep shooting them, or you can take out the propellers. That will make them sort of like lose control and then blow up.
And that is definitely the optimal way of dealing with it.
And every Ark enemy, I think we've probably encountered 10 or 15 different types, and we've not been on all the maps yet, so I'm sure there's more.
Yeah, so it goes from like tiny little spider things that jump on your face.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah. They're really easy to kill, but when they get on your face, it's annoying. There's the little rolly bomb ones that just roll into you and explode.
Yeah, some explode, some set on fire.
Yeah.
Wasps and your hornets, like your drone type things.
Yeah, and then there's the leaper, which is terrifying. It's like a giant 4-legged spider thing that leaps at you from in the sky.
Nice.
Well, it's on the floor, but it like jumps from really.
And it can go distance as well.
But there is loads, and as I say, they're all fought in a very different way, but they're all really engaging to fight. Even the easy ones, like there's something about the way they're animated, and I believe
it a bit uncanny?
No, it's really cool. I believe they were actually trained with AI.
Oh,
A dirty word, but in this case, really cool. So essentially, when you shoot off a propeller, that, especially if the wasp or something has some momentum, it will carry on in that like momentum with a broken propeller and like sort of spin out of control, and it takes a second to like realign itself.
Sometimes it'll crash and explode.
Sometimes it'll crash. Yeah, if it's near a wall,
you can see it almost learning.
Yeah,
to fly with 3 propellers.
If it's near a wall,
cool.
And then you shoot one propeller out because it's got some momentum, it might fly into the wall and crash and blow up. But yeah, as it learns to fly with 3 propellers, it sort of stabilizes itself and it'll have a different like flying pattern then. And then you take out the second one, and usually that's enough to destroy it. But all of them have different things like that. Like the leaper, you can take out a leg or something, and I believe it walks differently, or it jumps at you and gets stuck on in a different environment, and it sorts itself out.
I watched a clip the other day where somebody was looking down like an elevator shaft, and there was a leaper at the bottom, and I think he was saying to his friend, he was like, I wonder if it could get up. Like, I'm sure it won't be able to. And he just shot at it, and it jumped up and like almost caught itself on the elevator. And then kept going. And I was like, oh my God.
It's smart.
Crazy.
It's learning.
But like genuinely, it feels like that. And it makes them really formidable. Like the first time me and Jay went in, we died to like some of the low level enemies. And even now you can still die to them. If you get caught out in the wrong place, so you're in the middle of a map, like an open area with no buildings, and a couple of hornets come, usually you can take out hornets quite easily. But now there's 2 of them and you've got no cover. It's really hard.
Especially if I really struggle with 2 hornets by myself.
Do the enemies get stronger the more decent gear you go in with? Like, or are they always the same base level?
No, always the same. Always the same. So the better
Okay.
weapons and stuff you take in, the more damage and stuff you'll do. They're
getting smarter.
There are like, so the first map that you start with is Damn Battlegrounds, which is the map we've probably spent the most time on.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
But there's different variations of that. So you can go in what's called the night raid. So there'll be slightly different enemies that spawn, and I think a higher concentration of them are a bit more aggressive.
Different loot as well, I think.
And different loot. Yeah. There's Cold Snap, which we've not tried yet, but it's like an icy version of the map. My things are a bit different. There's Electromagnetic Storm, where it's throwing it down, and there's lightning and stuff. You've got to avoid that. And it all changes the behavior of the AI. But even then, even if you just go in the same normal map without those conditions and just keep replaying it, the spawn areas are usually the same, I think, but what spawns might be like a bit different. So yes, there'll be a spawn area for a leaper in this area. It might not spawn this game, or maybe it did and someone's killed it. So every time you play, even if you go into the same areas, it always feels different.
Yeah, definitely.
In terms of the stuff that you loot, is it normally stuff that's dropped by other players, or is there like bins or barrels or
it's all that.
chests?
Yeah. And it's also contextual. So like you go to a medical room and you'll find medical supplies. You go to, and it says on the map, so there's certain areas that are like medium or high loot areas, and it says on the map, so they'll be more heavily guarded to more human players. But it'll say like,
what's the goal of a drop? What's the goal of a drop? Like, is there one giant item that you're trying to retrieve?
There's like missions. So throughout the game, the vendors will give you missions to do. So you can go into these levels to do those missions, or you can go in to buy or upgrade your workbenches to then build better equipment.
So you're either doing the vendor missions or your own generated missions, in a sense. Is like, so yeah, you could go in because you want to upgrade a workbench, or you could go in because you want to build a weapon. I want to build this weapon, it needs these requirements, I'm going to go in and find them.
So it's like scrap scavenging on...
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll literally just go into a map and just grab a load of scrap and get back to the base and break it all down to metal parts.
You can spawn in with a free loadout, so you're not risking anything. It gives you a random weapon, ammo for it, some bandages and stuff.
I don't have enough time to play this game, but you guys are selling it to me.
It's really good. You could go in with this free loadout and just grab literally metal because you want to build bullets at home or back in the base. So you go in, you scavenge for all the metal.
The free loadout's good for the start of the game.
Yeah, very.
Because you're not going to lose anything that you take.
Yeah.
You're not taking anything in physically. You're just getting random equipment. It's not good equipment.
No. But it's also made me realize that the amount of pure loot you can get, random stuff which you don't know what it does. I understand why the ping system is the way it is with the AI stuff. Yes, maybe it didn't have to be, but there's thousands of items, like things completely random, torn vest, or something like that, or speaker part, and you can break them down into like their component parts, or sometimes you can use them to build stuff. It can be very overwhelming, don't get me wrong. So when we first started, our stash, which is your inventory back at base, kept filling up because it's got like max capacity. So we were constantly like, what do we break down? So you don't want to break down something that you then need later, which inevitably happens, but you're sort of trying to balance that. You don't want to bring too much stuff back. And I think that creates that loop of, or the idea of don't hoard your best stuff.
Yeah.
You've got this great weapon.
Use it.
Because otherwise you'll save it and then you'll use it once. And
that's the story of my every
thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the story of my every RPG or Resident Evil or anything. I will go, I'm saving that.
And
I never use it.
Don't treat this like an RPG. Treat it like you're borrowing this weapon and it's just your turn to use it. Someone else will use it next.
Yeah.
So if you go in with like a decent weapon and someone kills you, they can just get that weapon, can't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
But talking about PvP, now it very much depends on the map, as we found out last night. But
I just want to quickly touch on the maps. Like, we've been playing Damn Battlegrounds, and there's 4 other maps.
I think there's more.
I think there might even be.
There's Buried City, there's Stella Montis, there's Spaceport, there's Blue Gate,
and you've just been doing versions of the one you've been talking about.
So and then there's different versions of the map with like at night and stuff. And we've done Damn Battlegrounds loads. We've probably only played Buried City 3 times.
Maybe,
And then the other day we did Stella Montis a load. And to come back to what you were about to say, Stella Montis is PvP hell. So everybody who sees you just shoots at you immediately.
Every time we've played Damn Battlegrounds, we've only been shot at once on Damn Battlegrounds, and it was one of the first games we played.
Yeah,
and we killed them, and then got killed by Ark before we could leave. But we've never been shot at on Damn Battlegrounds. Everyone you come across straight away presses the ping, don't shoot, or goes into voice chat like what's it called?
Proximity, isn't it?
Proximity voice chat, and says, please don't shoot. No worries. And we just go on about our day. The other day, for example, we're actually on Buried City and we helped a team for a little bit. And we've done that a few times. We've helped people escape. One story Jake will tell in a minute.
Oh, God, yeah.
Really friendly. Most people are friendly, which is something that I didn't believe going into it. I'd heard people say, but I didn't believe them. But it really does make a difference, especially if you're wanting to play solo. Most people...
I was going to say, on solo, I have bumped into a lot more people.
Yeah.
Like, you usually bump into, like,
multiple
people on a match, and everyone's been friendly.
Yeah.
Trying to help each other.
But you go into Stella Montis, it's a much smaller indoor map. You walk around the corner, there's someone there shooting on sight.
Yeah.
It is awful.
What is the end goal? Like, is there a story that you're playing through every time you go do a run, or is it just an endless thing?
Overarching story, but you're not like aiming towards an end there.
So it's not like Destiny in that.
No,
that way.
There is.
And so there are missions, but I'm not really paying too much attention.
All the missions. The missions give you rewards, which is nice. So even if you finish them all, I don't think it's the end of the world. Like, it's still stuff to do. But then you have to work towards your expedition, I think, which is basically like what's it called? Prestige in Call of Duty.
Yeah, reset.
Yeah. But you don't have to do that. We probably won't. I don't think we'll.
No, by the time I've got enough stuff to take on the big enemies, I think I'll be like happy.
I think we've probably played 15 hours, maybe.
Yeah,
and we're not ready to take on some of those. Some of the enemies that are like big but not the biggest, we just don't take on.
We just avoid as best as we can.
But yeah, we alluded to that story before. We'll move on because I've been talking for a long time. It's one of those games where almost every round you'll come away with a story, but it's a completely user generated story.
Yeah, definitely.
And it feels so.
I think that's the hook as well, because remember when Battlefield 6 came out last year, and one of the big taglines was like
Battlefield moments,
but Ark Raiders does it way better.
Yeah,
in that regard.
So like I had a moment, and this is going to sound really small, but in the moment it felt amazing. Like I was playing solo, and I'd called the elevator. You have to wait for like 30 seconds to a minute for the elevator to arrive so you can escape. And these 2 hornets were attracted to me. I was like, oh no. So I hid in this little shelter thinking I'd be safe. And they started attacking me. I thought, this is it. I'm dead. I've lost all my stuff. And I was shooting at him. And I couldn't really do much from my position. So I sort of went into a crouch. And all of a sudden, this hornet above me just blew up and crashed. I was like, what's that? Looked out the window and there was another raider approaching the elevator, shooting at these hornets, saving my ass. And it felt like from a film, like when the hero's surrounded, from off screens, like support character comes. And we just teamed up. It was literally 2 hornets. It's so easy, but then you can become pretty overwhelmed by yourself. And together we just escaped, and it just felt so good. He didn't betray me or anything. He just saved my ass.
Didn't shoot you as soon as you got on the elevator.
So we've done a few things like that too. I think once we saved somebody extracting from a leaper. Yeah. It was like leaping. It was basically, you could tell they were like getting overwhelmed. Yeah. So me and Brad ran in. I threw some smoke bombs down. We started shooting at it to distract it, and we were just like shouting over the comms, like call the elevator, get in the elevator. And so we distracted it enough to then get ourselves in the elevator with them. Yeah. And as this leaper's like trying to get inside, we're like all calling the elevator, and we managed to escape because we worked as a random team that we just met.
Okay, but that one time.
But then, me and Brad, separate game. Me and Brad are looting. Got some cool stuff. I think we went to medical or something. Can't remember now. We're getting ready to extract, and we see from maybe at top of a building 2 other guys trying to extract at this location. But there's this big drone enemy called the Rocketeer, which basically shoots rockets at you. It's horrendous. Yeah. Like, we have not even managed to damage one yet. And it's completely firing down these 2 guys. And they're literally like screaming out for help. I don't even think they knew we were there.
No, we shouted down to them. They would help. And you could hear them 2 talking to each other. And they'd be like, I think they're offering to help.
Yeah.
And we're like, we're going to help. We're going to help.
So I ended up throwing some smokes down, and I just basically said, run. Like, run, call the elevator, and we'll try and distract it. So we did. We managed to distract it. One of their teammates went down in the process.
I went down.
Brad went down in the process.
You can still extract when you're down, by the way.
So they both crawl into the thing. The other guy is still up. I just run in, start calling the elevator, which the rockets are hitting the top of extraction. Calling the elevator, pressing the buttons to shut the elevator. The doors start closing, and then this rocket flies into the extraction zone, hits me directly, blasts me straight out of the extraction zone as the doors.
No!
Brad and the other 2 guys escape, and I'm just downed on the other side of the door.
Talking in game chat, I'm like talking to Jake, and he just cuts off. It's like extract.
Oh no! I was just going, no. So that was kind of like a sacrifice from a movie.
Yeah,
it was great.
It does sound like
you took the hit.
So unfortunately, I lost all my stuff, but it's such a cool story. I should have saved the clip.
Yeah.
But it's such a cool story to have. It is great. It is great for that.
Definitely.
Brilliant.
So definitely recommend it. It is sort of taken away from those other games I'm playing.
I know what you mean. I'm playing it solo a bit as well. So
just like, I want to get this one item. I know sort of where to get it. I'm just going to do a couple of runs and try and get it.
It's definitely like, I don't tend to play a lot of multiplayers, and Helldivers. I really liked Helldivers and Space Marine a couple of years ago. And Remnant 2 has probably been my highlight of multiplayers we've played. And I think this is up there with Remnant.
I think so too. It feels quite almost similar, like aesthetically. It kind of feels a bit like Helldivers in its loop, but like with way more for me. And for some people, that idea of losing your stuff isn't enjoyable, and they'd rather just spawn into a map, kill some bugs,
reset,
extract. Fine.
Hey, you can still lose your samples in Helldivers.
Yeah, but it's not quite the same. But
no.
But there's something about this. Yes, the maps. There's only so many maps, and they are the same every time. Whereas Helldivers is a bit more procedural, but the maps are a lot more interesting in this because there's a lot going on. It's not just barren.
Yes, definitely.
Planet.
Yeah.
Also, I've gone from being like New Faith in Humanity unlocked with on Damn Battlegrounds, and then going on Stella Mantis completely changed my opinion.
Definitely.
So now I'll be like going up to people like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Who are you?
Always suspicious.
Yeah. But when you find a good person, they're good.
Yeah, definitely.
So have you been playing anything else, Jake?
I just want to touch on one quick game. I know we've been going on for ages, but if I don't talk about it now, I won't get a chance to talk about it, I don't think. I got a Steam Deck over Christmas.
Woo!
I'll talk about that another time, but I played a game on it called Pepper Grinder.
Very nice.
Oh yeah, so you're playing a bit of this.
So basically, it's a little pixel platformer game where you're a woman with a massive drill and you drill through sand to get through the lighter levels and stuff. It's very similar to, I think Ori did it.
Yes, one of the mechanics in Ori.
Yeah, so it kind of like, I feel like it takes that and like makes a full game out of it. Really cool mechanic. It feels really good to play. The soundtrack is like really rock and roll. It's
cool. Nice.
It's like when it boots up, you hear like the chain of the drill getting pulled, and then it just starts going. It's just great. It's great.
How's it go? Oh, okay. Just
Great.
making sure.
Great. And I really enjoyed it. The bosses though are a bit annoyingly hard.
So,
especially the last one.
So it's a 2D game and you're moving through, because you can't. Do you ever like walk normally?
You can, yeah.
So you walk normally and then you go into like a sand or something like that environment, and then you get your drill out and you sort of fly. And then it's more like momentum based, isn't it?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, so you sort of move around. If you jump out the top of the sand, you're like,
you can boost out of it, yeah.
Do you have any other like mechanics within that?
You can hook shot, so you like boost out, hook onto something.
Yeah.
And there's one where you stay hooked on, you spin around.
Okay, yeah. And
stuff like that.
You're sort of you're more trying to get into your drill state, aren't you?
Yes, you are, to be fair. It doesn't, other than like hook shotting and spinning round with your hook, it doesn't really do a lot outside of the drilling mechanics. There's also a lot of like enemies to fight on the way, which I didn't think was going to be the case.
Oh, so not in the drill mode?
Well, in the drill mode, so you can like drill through enemies, or like usually you'll enter an arena with a bit of sand with enemies in it as well. So you have to like go into the side and pop out at locations to hit people. But
when I saw you playing it, you're always going up as well, aren't you, in the levels?
Not necessarily, but most of the time.
Yeah. You start at the bottom and you try and climb up.
Yeah. Some of it is just right, left to right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what makes the bosses hard then, or annoying?
You've only got a tiny bit of sand, and usually it's like a layer of sand at the bottom, and that's it. The first boss is pretty good because it's got a whole like loop that you can do. The rest of them all just like a tiny bit of sand at the bottom, and then you're just gonna try and dig under and dodge the attacks, but it can hit you in the sand as well.
So it's just a bit of like a flat plane. It's not like
map.
Yeah.
It's 1v1 Final Destination.
Yeah.
The only other thing is, and I usually really like short games, but this felt a bit too short.
How long was it?
3 hours. And
Oh, wow.
I think the last boss took me 45 minutes to beat.
Oh, wow. So the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
how many bosses are there?
4, because there's 4 zones.
You don't mind a short game when it's like a vibes based sort of Sword of the Sea or something.
Yeah.
Or when it's a puzzle game and it's like,
how much was it? Is that a question?
I got it on a deal. I think standard it's like £16, but I got it pretty cheap on the Steam sales. So for £16, 3 hours. There is extra stuff you can do. Don't get me wrong. There are secret levels you can get by getting special coins throughout the levels. But each zone only has about 3 or 4 levels. They're not that long.
No.
And that's including the boss usually as well.
So it's more about the replayability.
Yeah, and then you can do like a time trial in each of the levels as well. But it is really short, but it is really fun. If you can get it on a deal, I'd definitely highly recommend getting it. But for full price,
bit steep.
It's
definitely a Steam Deck game, eh?
Oh yeah, 100%. It was the first game I played on it, and it really showed me what the Steam Deck was good for. I'm just having a look now. It's $12.79, so it's not that bad.
Okay, didn't it come out on Switch as well? Wasn't it a Nintendo showcase?
I think it's on everything now.
It'd be £50 for Switch.
Yeah.
It's funny how you say that about it being £12. That's not too bad. I can't remember who it was, but there was someone who came out recently talking about pricing of games.
Oh yeah, $2 is $1.
Yeah,
$3 is $1, but $3 is like $5, but $4 is like $5.
Yeah, so and $8 is $10, but
$7.99 is $5. I saw that this morning. Yeah.
So just when you said 16 too expensive, 12 That's not too bad.
That's $10.
16 quid is 20 quid, but 12 is only 10.
I think that's it. I had in my head it was 16, like 50 or something. Yeah. 12.50. Bring that down to 10. I think I got it for like £6 which is
definitely worth £6,
which is £2
an hour.
Definitely.
Cool.
But that's me.
Joe, have you been playing anything?
I've not been playing a lot of video games. I've been retracing old ground on the video game front. I did a bit of Monster Hunter Wilds before all the events finished for the year, for last year's events. Did a bit more on Need for Speed Unbound, getting quite far in that. But what I do want to talk about is something that happened last night. I DM'd my first D&D session ever.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about this.
And I was, throughout the day, the work day, I was like, I think, I'll get like an hour during the day, so I'll get to read through the guide again. Because I'd read through it once and I'd like just picked bits out which I was going to use.
Yeah.
And I used your props, Jake. Jake lent me the beginner's box set. So
yeah,
because it's my first one, it was a lot of guidance in there which helped me.
Were they all new players?
Yes, no one had played D&D before, and I'd never DM'd before.
That helps.
No one was giving me pointers halfway through. And I did chop off bits that, when you're doing your character creation stuff, I filled in all the save and throw bits and stuff, and like their equipment that they get at the start. They picked all like the races, the classes, like the backgrounds and all that, all the flavor stuff. I just dealt with the technical stuff because with 4 new players, it took us like 3 hours to get into the game.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
And it went better than I expected. A lot better than expected, actually. I was so stressed out about it because I never got that hour to read the guide, and I got home and was like, oh god, I've got to clean the house, do the dishes, move the living room around so 4 people can sit around a table. I hadn't even drawn a map yet because I was going to like scale it up so the minis could fit on it that I'd got just on my shelf. I just ended up printing out a 35mm grid on A4 and then sticking 6 sheets together. I just drew crudely with a marker. I'll put it on like the makerspace.
I've done that
Discord.
Before. Yeah,
but it was very enjoyable. The oxen cart was like a Hot Wheels.
Nice.
that we all stood around just for like scale purposes.
Did you manage to get? Did you just do the goblin ambush in that set?
We are up to going into Cragmore hideout.
Yeah, that's probably the perfect first.
It's the first long rest that you get. So I was like, right, we'll stop it there because if we go inside, we'll be at this till 1 a.m. because it was already 10:30 at that point.
Yeah.
They came round at 5:30. Well, I was still drawing the map, so I wasn't like on it with the prep. For next session, I'll probably do a bit more during the week, but I did not have time.
I know what you mean because I had D&D last night as well, and all day I was like, right, I'll find some time to do this.
You
just never do. I'm just glad I did it a little bit before.
I think like doing it all off the cuff was a bit more charming as well.
Yeah.
If I'd walked in with like a full A1 size map with proper grid squares and the map drawn on it, it'd be like, oh, right, this is a board game.
Yeah.
Because more theatre of the mind makes it better, I think.
Definitely.
Did everyone seem to have a good time, though?
Yeah, they were loving it. I let them take the reins a lot because they had a lot of discussions with one another, which I really enjoyed because it took the pressure off me.
Yeah.
There was no characters for me to improv yet, apart from they did capture one of the goblins hostage. I had to...
what was your goblin voice?
It's just relatively rough like mine sounded now. I've had a sore throat all week, so it worked well. And he was a bit more eloquent than a goblin maybe should be.
Yeah.
It was being spoke to in his mind because one of our characters is a warlock. So he got Pact of the Great Old One, which allows him to use telepathy to speak to people.
Cool.
So the goblin maybe sounds a lot more eloquent in his head than his voice would.
That's a good
theory.
Yeah.
Cool. But great time. Everyone said they had a great time, and I was very surprised by that because I did railroad them a bit. They wanted to move both of the dead horses out the road and carry on up to Fandolin instead of going and following the goblin and going into the cave. I was like, no, I kind of need you to go in the cave. That's what I've prepared. So I was like, you rolled to me with the dead horse, but it's like stuck in the mud, so you have to go this way.
Yeah. Oh, so long as you can do it in a way that seems...
They're not going to pick it up,
Yeah. That seems authentic, then it's fine.
The players we got is a high elf warlock, a dragonborn ranger.
Dovahkiin.
Yeah, pretty much. a tiefling rogue, which is always expected for a first-time player to have one of those because it's like edgy as. That's Courtney's character. And a half-orc barbarian, which is, I think they did it for min-max purposes.
Cool.
They got the highest strength in the group. They got like 16 right away, and then they got the orc background, like helpful strength thing.
Oh, yeah,
so they're on like +4 strength at level 1.
So, and they couldn't move the horse.
No, I made it a purposefully really hard strength check because it was
a war horse.
Yeah, and it had arrows stuck in it, dude, and it's like anchored in.
More weight.
Yeah, we had 5 critical fumbles in the first game. They're all hilarious. Nice. One of them was Courtney's, where she was doing a sneak attack with a bow from inside a tree, over the goblin blind, because they were made aware to the character's presence, but they couldn't see where they were. And she pulled a muscle in her back and fell out of the tree.
Oh no!
Onto a goblin. So they took the fall damage of her landing on him, and it killed him.
Nice.
So it kind of worked out.
Yeah, that's a good way of doing it.
Yeah.
Cool. So,
I'll definitely be up for it again, because when I went into it, I thought, oh, this is going to go horribly, and I won't want to do it again. But I enjoyed myself. It was good.
Good stuff, man. Glad it went well.
Yeah.
So nothing digitally then?
I said Monster Hunter and
the usual.
Need for Speed Unbound at the beginning.
Mine's a bit similar, unfortunately, without the D&D, so way less interesting. I did buy a power bank for my Steam Deck. Now that might sound like it's not very big. It's one that clips on the back. It's cool. It's meant for it.
Nice.
I bought a power bank for my ROG, but it's not one that clips on. I have to balance it somewhere.
Actually, it makes it's as heavy as God knows. I might as well just be sat holding a car wheel. But the knowledge I've learned, I'll share quickly. The debate was between a 65 watt and a 35 watt power bank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The problems you've got is a lot of the wattage is based on the collective output. So if it has 5, it could be 5 at 20 each. You see what I mean? So
you've got multiple,
which isn't enough for the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
So you need a 45 watt through one hole.
Okay.
That was just in case anybody's doing the same thing, because it took me ages to figure this out. To be fair,
I'll probably be looking into something.
Yeah, I think I got 65 watt jobby. That's only one. It's a power bank with a cable built in. So that cable thing is 65 watt.
Yeah, that's what you got to look for. Yeah. That's definitely it. 45 is enough for a Steam Deck, and it has extended my play to about 4 hours.
Nice. It usually doubles them. If you get like is it 100,000
milliamp hour,
whatever. Yeah, I think it's usually about doubles them.
And does it charge? Well, so say if you had it at 20% battery.
Yes, I tested it. I tested it. I run it down to about 40%, and then I plugged the thing in to try and carry on playing whilst it was charging, and it did. And it nearly melted my fingers. It was getting that hot. It was great.
Jeez.
It's fine. It'll be fine.
I've not used mine like in anger yet, but what I found when I use it for like 10-15 minutes, it drains the power bank's battery quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So the power bank might only last half an hour, but it puts your device up to a percentage where that's going to get another hour and a half or something like that.
Yeah.
So it gives you it pretty much doubles your battery life, but it's not charging for that whole time. It charges for a bit.
It'll get up to 100%.
And then it'll drain again. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it puts another 1.9 times my battery power, if you see what I mean, from the Steam Deck. I think that's what it works out at, something like that.
Basically,
I'm wondering when they'll start making cases like they'll have battery built into them, so like a carry case or something like that with a
I think you have to be careful with power with carry cases anyway, because I've got a story that people probably want to know as well. I don't know if it necessarily affects the Steam Deck, because I believe the sleep function's really good on that. But I was putting my ROG Ally into sleep mode all the time, but Windows sleep mode is notoriously awful because what it does is it turns itself back on.
Yep.
And it doesn't, for no rhyme or reason. Sometimes because you wiggle the mouse or one of the buttons, sometimes it just does it. So if you're putting it in a carry case and
I've seen this with my PCs very regularly that just blinks on.
Yeah, and it gets hot. I pulled my ROG out at work the other day, and it was like a month or so ago, and so it'd been in my bag for about 2.5 hours at this point, and it must have turned on straight away. It was boiling. Like when I say boiling, like the metal parts you couldn't touch. It was so hot. It was so hot that half the screen was black. It had just gone off, and it was into like BIOS mode. I was like, what the hell is going on here? Anyway, slowly the screen came back to life. I turned it off, got out of the BIOS. It wouldn't turn back on till I got home and plugged it in. But it has all been fine since. Now, what I learned was Hibernate on a Windows handheld is basically the same as sleep, but instead of in sleep mode, it saves your current state to your RAM. Right. Whereas in Hibernate, it shuts it down, shuts the actual handheld down properly, but it saves your current state to the SSD. So it takes an extra like 5 seconds to boot because it's
isn't that like what you would want though?
Yes, that should be the standard.
That should be sleep.
Yeah.
That should
be. Sack off sleep mode. Sleep mode apparently is for if you're putting it down for 10 minutes on the side while you go somewhere else and then you're coming back to it.
Why bother?
If you're putting it in a case.
Also, why is that not a PSA? Why is that not like part of...
Yeah.
I know. But if you're putting it in a case, always either shut down or hibernate. But hibernate is essentially shut down just with a faster boot. Yeah. So PSA to everyone.
When you press the power button, does it go into sleep or hibernate?
You can change it. You have to go into the Windows settings. Now it goes into hibernate.
I've had a few things on the Steam Deck where I've put it into sleep mode with the idea, I'll play it a bit later. Left it, and then it's updated something in sleep mode, and it won't turn on. It's out.
I've been there.
So annoying.
So definitely keep it on charge.
These handhelds sound more trouble than they're worth.
There's always a teething where you learn how to do something, but it's not as simple as just putting the switch in your dock and leaving it.
Yeah, the switch in the dock is really good.
That's the selling point.
Yeah.
It's kind of given us that easy life, hasn't it? It made us believe different things about handhelds. The one thing Nintendo did right, and then just put a lot of money on it anyway. Come to the garnish for your handheld advice, clearly. So we'll move on to the news, I guess.
But-ba-doo, it's the news. So it's a relatively small one after the...
Well, before we get into it, we asked for some feedback in the Discord from our lovely listeners.
We did.
Provided some really good feedback for us. Just what you might want to see from us.
Less doom and gloom.
Forward. Less doom and gloom was definitely the most common theme, which can only apologise. The news has been doom and gloom. But what we're going to do going forward is we'll still cover some of the doom and gloom if it's big news. So if it's a really big event that's happened and it's we need to talk about it, we will cover it. But
we are in a catch-22 though, aren't we, with it? Because there are listeners out there that come to us for the general news. Like that's what it is. So we try and cover as much as possible.
We're also going to cover the news. We're going to try and focus more on the positive stuff than the negative stuff. And
we just might have to go looking.
Yeah. And sometimes we find, we want to fill a news block with a few bits. So we try and get a few different news pieces. And if it's a particularly slow month, we might sort of reach to the bottom of the barrel a bit. And instead of pulling out the negative ones from the bottom of the barrel, we'll pull the more positive ones. Is kind of the gist.
Yeah.
So if it's big news and it's negative, we will still cover it. But otherwise, we'll try to avoid doom and gloom.
Well, we'll start off with something good then on this one. And I think we're going to have to go over to Ben. Because
who watched it? You know what I'm excited about? Who watched it? Who watched it?
The Resident Evil showcase.
Who watched it?
I watched the gameplay portion of it. So the first half. I turned
unfortunately, it was in Japanese.
Well, after about the first, I think, was it 12 minutes, something like that? After the first 6 minutes, it was Porsche. It was some watch brand, I can't remember what it was. It was Switch 2 Pro controller. It was figurines. It was deluxe edition. It was.
Well, it's a 30th anniversary, isn't it? Coming up, and they've done a lot of stuff for 9. One of them being included a special Porsche in the game, which
so you can't buy the real Porsche.
I don't know whether they're doing it or not, but I wouldn't be surprised if they at least made one for events. I'm going to go on a whim and say that it's the first car Leon doesn't crash.
Probably. Or if he does, it'll come out pristine afterwards.
It bounced. It was fine. But really exciting to see some of the sort of play footage, the gameplay footage, that looks great. Looks like they've followed a bit more of a 4 theme for Leon. So he's a bit more brawly, isn't he? He kicks and punches, and
it looks to me like they're merging 4 and the modern games.
I felt like we learned a few things. So the game is linear. Like you play a story, and it will change you between Grace and Leon at certain points.
Yep.
Was the gist I got. I thought it might be more like 2, where you can play the game from one perspective or from the other.
Yeah.
Or something like Alan Wake, where you can choose when to swap. So I'm quite happy that it does sort of like tell you when it's going to swap. They have said that.
So my worry with that was being ditched with Grace. Now,
this is so funny because I'm like the one person in the minority who's the opposite. Because I don't want to get...
Nobody likes you, Brad. That's why nobody likes you. We know this.
When I come to these modern Resident Evil games, like 7 and 8, I like that immersive first person, sort of horror, scary. That's what like Lucy wants to watch as well. I'd like that. And
she wants to see you be scared.
Yeah. I enjoyed 4, but it was definitely more action focused. So I would rather more horror scares in my modern Resident Evil.
Well, why do you think you're the opposite to that? That is exactly what Resident Evil is. It's survival horror, jump scares. It's the quintessential move.
Well, it's
from
not scary
Resident
when
Evil.
you can roundhouse kick the enemy across the room.
4 wasn't as scary, and I feel like the parts where you're playing as Leon, which people are really excited for, because obviously it's Leon. He's a massive character. But I just feel like
50 now.
Yeah, they're not going to be scary. I'd rather be playing as Grace, where it's a survival horror. And I think that's what they've said. Grace is survival horror. Leon is
more action
horror. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I'm worried how they're going to balance it. Because if you're playing as survival horror, it's getting really intense, and then suddenly it's okay, now it's action. And then you're doing action, and then okay, now it's horror. It's going to be
This is where I was going.
Yeah.
That is where I was going. Being ditched with Grace after you've just fought your way through a horde because you've had to. There's no other way. And then you're suddenly Grace, who has a biro and sat under a table like that,
Yeah, you don't have as much firepower. I know you're going to end up playing it like Leon when you're playing as Grace.
Oh, I did see the revolver she had, though.
It was massive.
I know. Not as much firepower.
Is it just Leon sized and she's tiny?
I'm interested to see as well that you can play both in first or third person. I thought maybe it would make Leon only third, but I feel like maybe I might have to keep Leon in third just to create that divide. When I'm in first person, it's scary. I've got little ammo. Take it carefully. When I'm in third person, it's action packed. I can use all my ammo. I don't need to worry. You can roundhouse kick.
Would you rather that each chapter was one person for that chapter, or like different bits in the chapter swapped you to the next person?
I'm not too bothered about that. I just don't want it to be changing too often.
Yeah.
There's going to be an element of forced fight in it, so you are going to have to decide, because they've built a crafting system that requires blood from zombies.
Yes.
So it's a forced fight in a survival horror game, which is always the worry of, have I got enough ammo for this next section? Is Resident Evil's thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but you can.
I wonder if you can transfer items between the characters. That'd be cool.
I think they meet up and then separate again by the look of what I've got, but that's my guess. I don't really know, but I'm just assuming.
Definitely meet up at parts because there's like cutscenes, but I don't think you'll be able to share stuff. But it would be interesting if they make those action moments you talk about where you play as Leon, because then it removes that sort of that weirdness when you're like playing as Ethan and you can barely handle a weapon, and then all of a sudden you're fighting off like 10 werewolves because you have to, because the game tells you have to. In this case, you then play as Leon, and it kind of works a bit more thematically, doesn't it? So that could be quite cool.
The other thing that they've never really done before is being able to pick up enemies' weapons, which was a big, big thing.
Yeah, they only showed the chains.
No, they picked an axe as well. He picked up a little throwing hatchet.
And I think that is his hatchet.
Oh,
so you know how he has a knife?
Yeah.
It showed him sharpening it and stuff, didn't it? And sure, they said Leon now has a hatchet.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I think that's how he parries.
But picking up weapons is a new thing altogether, because it's very, you will find this in a case at this point, and that's Resident Evil.
Yeah.
That's usually what you find.
Yeah. You did, I think, in the fourth one, you could pick up knives that were different, but they were like
defense weapons.
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely done the right thing. I'm way more excited about it, I have to say, because believe it or not, I was a bit meh so far because there wasn't enough to see about it.
Yeah,
you'd see the same clip, you'd see the same bit where she's running from the big witch thing.
Yes, yeah.
You just see the same, and I was just a bit, well, sure, it'll be great, but
I am excited for it. Talking about this has reminded me I finished Silent Hill F and never talked about that, so I need to talk about that next time. Remind me. But yeah, I think it looks really cool. I'm surprised it wasn't a demo because there's been a demo for all of them recently. I think everyone expected there to be a demo announcement at the end of this as well. But it's out in a month.
Like a shadow drop demo, that would have been good.
Yeah, they usually do. But as I say, it's out in a month, so it's not long to wait.
If you're a Resi fan and want to feel the hype, definitely go and look for that little showcase. It does do the right thing.
Just watch the first 6 minutes.
I mean, it's just a Japanese guy talking. You have to read the subtitles.
Yeah, but there's gameplay in there. It's just the adverts.
Nice. Well, we'll move on then. The only other big piece of news was they finally found the live action Kratos for the God of War.
Yeah.
This is going to be a series, isn't it?
It is going to be a series, yes.
Yeah.
There
might be some more announcements by the time this episode goes live as well. I did actually see they've cast Sith as well, but I can't remember the name of the actress. So
no worries.
There probably will be more announcements by the time this goes live.
So what's the guy's name?
Ryan Hurst.
That's it.
So he's in Sons of Anarchy, Walking Dead, a bunch of stuff.
Didn't you say he's the one that plays Thor in the game
yes,
as well?
he voice acts Thor in the game.
Which is so
interesting. Who are they going to get to play Thor?
There's rumours of a guy, again, name I can't remember, but I recognise him. He's rumoured to play Thor, who looks spot on, so hopefully it's correct, but we'll see.
Surprised some of the Skarsgårds aren't involved in this, with it being Norse mythology.
Well, that's the interesting thing. There is Norse mythology. They're not doing the Greek stuff, which people are a bit annoyed about.
So it's straight to God of War 2018.
I think they'll do Greek stuff in flashbacks.
Yeah.
But I think there's probably a few reasons. The Norse mythology story is probably better. You know, the first one is the first three is all just rage, Kratos killing things. So it probably doesn't translate as well to like people want more meaningful TV these days.
Yeah.
I think also like sets wise, it's probably easier to do sets in Norse mythology.
Yeah,
anyway.
you can go there.
Yeah.
You can't go to ancient Greece and have it look normal.
But also, if they did a whole TV show where the first few seasons were in a completely different place to the latest TV shows, it's going to be so expensive. So I think they'd rather just invest in sets and costumes and stuff once.
What I think they might do is, if it goes well, is they'll do an animated TV show or film as a prequel. You know, like they kind of did for The Witcher.
Like that. Maybe, that'd be quite cool.
That would be really cool.
But they'll definitely do like flashbacks where they're like smaller in scale, I would have thought.
I just really hope that they don't fall into the cinema trope of anything that's in ancient Greece. It's in ruins already. Whenever you film something there, because they have to go on site to do it, it's like, well, it wouldn't be in ruins if you were in ancient Greece. It'd look new. It'd look good. It wouldn't be broken pillars everywhere.
Until Kratos is finished with it.
Well, until he does his thing.
Yeah, but that is cool. At least he'll know like kind of the source material as well.
Yeah.
So read some of the
He
script.
did say, I think in his post he said, "I've gone from like playing as Kratos to playing Kratos," something like that. So it seems like he's at least knowledgeable of the source material. But it sounds like he's played it.
Yeah.
You know, which is a big thing these days. You know, should actors play the game? Should they not?
Bloody Amazon! No one played Halo in the Halo series.
Well, that was Paramount, but
Paramount.
But Amazon's Fallout, they've said they've not played it. What's called Walton Goggins has said that he's not going to play the game because he doesn't want to have it influence his character, which winds me up because his character isn't in the games. So
I kind of get why he wouldn't play it, not for that reason.
Yeah,
but he's probably not a gamer.
No, but
I imagine.
But this is what kind of gets me, sort of rubs me the wrong way because
it's artist research.
It is. They would read a book.
Yeah, agreed.
Very true. Yeah. Very true.
Yeah.
They would definitely read the book. So why not play the game? It's only going to influence you as much as the book would. So
yeah.
Just on that, as we're talking about characters who played the game, the lady that did the acting for Hemiko out of Hemiko.
Yeah, Handheld.
There you go. Tomb Raider, Hemiko, Tomb Raider. Wow, great. Finally finished the game, Silent Hill F. She finally finished it. She's been playing it since it came out, and she's been live streaming it apparently, and it was quite funny to watch. She was jumpy and obviously you can't understand
Japanese
what she's
voice actor, was it? Or was it the...
No, she modelled for the character.
Oh, so not the voice actor, the character model.
The character model.
Motion work.
Who did the motion work and everything, which is really weird probably for her to see her own face get slashed to bits by a scarecrow with a knife. But we won't go there.
Yeah, that was quite something.
I remember watching the guy did Jin Sakai and Ghost of Tsushima do the end of Ghost of Tsushima, and he had to obviously make the decision at the end as well. And he was like, you know what? Actually, after playing the game, I'm going to pick this instead.
Oh,
because he was always saying he was going to pick the other one. But it was interesting.
Talking about Amazon specifically adaptations, they've also revealed some images of, is it Sophie Turner?
Yes,
as Lara Croft.
I think
looks really good. It's very game.
That was a Freudian slip, I'll have you know, the Hemiko. That was all it was.
Oh, yeah.
Is Sophie Turner she's in Game of Thrones, isn't she?
Yeah, she plays
Sansa. One of the Starks.
Yeah.
She's Sansa Stark, and then she's also Jean Grey.
To be honest, I didn't recognise it was her in that image. So they did a great
when
job.
When she was first cast, people were very tentative. And I think most of the sentiment now is positive.
I mean, the images make her look the part, 100%.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's those sunglasses, man. The sunglasses and the blue tights of the character.
But hopefully she'll do a good job. If they're doing this already, showing like images of it, maybe there's, they must have started filming. Hopefully
she's definitely got the voice for it as well. Because Tomb Raider, like I remember on PS1, she's proper
she's British,
upper class British, live in a castle person.
That is a good point, actually. Yeah.
So cool.
Some of the problem for me with that is, I don't mean it against her, she's a great actress, but the actress that played Lara Croft in the last film did a load of upper body work to be able to do the hanging stuff to make it more realistic for obviously the scenes where it's CGI behind her and she's hanging on something, but she was physically hanging on something. So she did a load of upper body work. I'm hoping she'll go down the same route as that and get fit for it, because at the end of the day, the actress needs to be not as fit as Lara Croft would be, but
Are you exposing yourself here, Ben? Are you into muscle mummies?
Oh, absolutely. Have you met my wife? No,
I'll be number one fan. But I think that's an interesting point. I think the last film, it was more based on the remake games, weren't it? Which were trying to be more grounded in reality.
Yeah, they had the white tank top. That's how you know.
Yes. Whereas this seems like it's more trying to sort of like
do the older game,
or the new one that's coming out, which is a bit more like
fantastic. It's got dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's not trying to be realistic. Which I understand. You can see the issues with that and the objectification of women and stuff. I don't think they're going down that route. But I don't think they necessarily need to go down the get absolutely ripped route either. So,
but my other point is how bad CGI looks very, very shortly after it's been released. So it could make it look really bad, really fast if the actress can't just do some of the physical work.
Hopefully, it seems
that's kind of where I'm going with it.
It seems like in general media that practical effects are coming back a little bit more. They're not relying so much on the green screens, which just look terrible.
Yeah, it's somehow got worse. CGI, I swear.
Somehow, how?
100%. I can't remember what we watched something not that long ago that was like an older film that was quite CGI heavy. It's Harry Potter. It was a Harry Potter's, and the later Harry Potter films, not even like that late, like maybe 3 or 4 onwards, was so much better than some of the stuff you get these days.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, that's always Terminator 2 for me. That's just, it's the same moment. It's Terminator 2 and Predator. Still look good now. You obviously can tell it's CGI, but the work that they put into doing it then seems to be a lot more.
Well, I don't think some of it obviously was CGI, but I think there was a lot of it that was just practical effects.
Yeah, but you got to make the Predator invisible.
Yeah,
in them trees.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we get into a whole special segment about CGI, we've got one little one tiny bit of news. Amazon have basically come out and said there's only 1 year left of their MMO New World before it shuts down.
Yeah.
Which is
quite a shock. This game came out, can't remember when it came out, 5 years ago. And it came out in a massive bang. People were itching for a new MMO. And this was satisfying that itch for a lot of people. It was really good immediately. But then I think there was issues with lack of content and some of the end game activities were not great. And interest waned, but then they started making some positive changes and interest came back, but then it wasn't quite hitting where Amazon wanted. And now they've just unceremoniously said, next year, service pulled.
Killing
it. We don't get a lot of new MMOs these days. So it's sad, but
it's a shame it didn't get the following it needed, but it sounds like it still got a following.
Yeah.
But
But anyway, we'll move on to a segment that's coming up more and more recently. Bit-Badoo Rumours for You.
Rumours for You.
I like the fact that
I was dead excited to do it, and then he just did it anyway.
There's a delay when we record, so obviously Jake says it, and in my ears, and then Ben says it, but it almost creates a funny echo.
Yeah, that's what we're going. So the big one, and this has been doing the rounds all over the place, is The Witcher 3, a 10-year-old game at this point, is getting rumoured to be getting some DLC this year.
And big DLC.
Yeah,
not just costumes or something. Big DLC.
Which is crazy.
Like a new area.
Yeah,
whole new area.
Like Blood and Wine size. Wow, DLC,
jeez.
Yeah.
Which is
quite. Do you think it's the delay 4? Because people have rumoured 4 so much now that's not really happening yet.
I think it's more to garner interest in 4.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
I think it's going to be like a 3.5.
Yeah. Do you reckon it'll update the base game a lot?
I don't know.
Like Cyberpunk did with Phantom Liberty?
Well, one thing to bear in mind, so, okay, obviously these are rumours, but the current rumours are the people who are making it are the people who are working on the Witcher 1 remaster.
Yeah.
So it's not CD Projekt Red directly. I imagine if they're making a DLC for their game, you've got to be involved.
Yeah.
Story-wise and all that. But
I am curious as well because they've moved to Unreal Engine 5, haven't they? From the Red Engine.
Yeah, for the new games.
So do you think they'll have gone back to the Red Engine for this?
They'd have to, or it wouldn't be compatible, would it?
Yeah.
I mean, if you told me, well, I mean, I'd heard about this rumor months ago.
Yeah.
And I was kind of pretty convinced it was absolute BS.
Yeah.
Because no one brings out DLC, for a game that's that old when you've just announced a sequel. It seemed very weird. But
I guess it depends how much your recent series failed, doesn't it? I mean,
what, the answer?
Oh, because of Luke Hemsworth.
The TV show.
The recasting,
To me, that's a completely separate thing.
It is. It's not.
It is.
But the more I'm hearing about it, the more people are corroborating it, the more I'm like, maybe.
Well, this has come from, there's a Polish podcaster, I don't know his name, who has a lot of inside knowledge, and he's basically come out and said, this is most likely happening, as far as he's aware.
Yeah, he sort of broke it and then got a few people to
collaborate as well.
Yeah, and then IGN Poland, is it, or something like that, or a Polish outfit of a Polish wing of an outfit is sort of said, yeah, we'd heard about this like a month or so ago, but we just didn't have enough resources,
information,
references, sort of to corroborate it. But there is more and more people coming out saying it's happening. So it's sounding more and more well documented that this is happening. Now we don't know anything else about it other than that. Do we know that? Does the rumor say that it's Ciri?
No,
or is it just people?
It could be
assuming that it's going to be like a passing of the torch to Ciri for the new game.
Yeah, I think it should be.
If they're going to do it, yes.
Yeah. Only because of the way Witcher 3 Blood and Wine ends.
Yeah.
It's like a nice
end
for Geralt
and Yennefer. So yeah.
I haven't played it yet. Come on. Spoilers.
It's a nice end.
To be fair, I only played the base game and I thought I got the best ending anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did too. But the DLC wrapped it up nicely. So yeah. So it'd be interesting. Cool. I'll definitely play it. If it happens, I've obviously played played it. It wasn't even last year. Now it was 2 years ago.
I'm interested why they would bring out a DLC for Witcher 3 and not just bring out like a
spin-off game.
A spin-off game that's less priced.
Yeah,
do you think maybe the spiked in sales when the series came? Suddenly there was an interest in Witcher 3 again.
It will have done, but I don't think the latest season will have done much. I think when the original series came out, it would have done. But
there's also like
they've also got the groundwork all done for them with the base game.
Yeah,
just adding content.
People have said it's to like to bridge the gap between like the financial years as well. You know, brings them to now.
Yeah,
and that bridges till like the remake, and then that bridges.
You can get Witcher 3 base game for like every time there's a sale. I swear
I got it for like £3.
Yeah, I swear it
was on Game Pass for ages,
£3 or £5 or something.
I wonder
50 on Nintendo.
I wonder why they didn't just do it as a spin-off, build it in the new Unreal Engine that they're using. You know, like how Ground Zeroes to Phantom Pain, Metal Gear Solid.
Yes,
which is kind of like a small version just to sort of whet your appetite.
They did something for Gran Turismo too, didn't they?
Yeah, the prologue. Yeah. Maybe that could have worked.
I mean, I've got Witcher 3 already. So.
Yeah, this is more consumer friendly, isn't it? That's fair.
But it is interesting.
Yeah,
it is interesting.
We'll see.
Yeah,
I'll probably get it.
I would, 100%. I might play it again. 4th playthrough. Let's go.
I'm not playing from the beginning.
No, I don't think I have time these days. The only
XCOM, you'll play that again.
Oh yeah.
That's not playing a game. That's like cooking tea.
Yeah, I've done 3 playthroughs of Witcher 3, but I've only done 2.5 of XCOM.
Okay.
Yeah. So take it back.
So the other piece of rumored news is a Division hardcore mode.
No, this is announced, isn't it?
Have they actually fully announced this? Well, it's not rumors, guys.
Yeah, back to Badoo.
Yeah.
I'm sure they announced this because I think it was at a showcase and the leak was just before the announcement because someone put like a big poster. But yeah, if you go through what you got written down there, what is it? Hardcore mode for Division 1 and 2? Or just Division?
Just Division 1.
Just Division 1. Hardcore mode being like, I don't know how much it affects enemies' normal health, but it means like headshots are instant kills. So you don't have like bullet spongy enemies and stuff.
Which to me was the worst part of Division.
Agreed. I think Division was way ahead of its time. I mean, its Dark Zone is basically what you're looking at with Ark now.
Yeah.
You know, they really could have built it into something, really cool. And I think that version of New York is incredible. I thought it was so cool.
Have they also come out and said that working on Division 3?
I think so, but I think they did that a while back.
Yeah.
They announced that a while back, which I
Isn't
hope
there also a rumor that someone who's working on the Division 3 has moved from, is it
I don't
Ubisoft
think that's
to EA?
A rumor. That is official.
Oh, is that confirmed?
Yeah, that's confirmed. I think the guy who made Division or ran Division has moved from Ubisoft to EA, so he won't be working on it.
He's moved divisions. But yeah, it was, so it's the hardcore mode. Is there a remaster or something like that, or there's more than just the hardcore mode?
I think it is a remaster of the
but it's cool stuch. I mean,
that's another game they're going back to from years and years ago.
Yeah, and they are still updating the second one as well with new content. I think there was new content came out last year, which is a game. I enjoyed the first one. I played it a bit, but I mostly played it solo, and I didn't get into a lot of the Dark Zone.
You see, I'm the same. I was too scared.
But looking back, I wish I had. But Division 2 I never played, and for all intents and purposes, other than the map people prefer in the first one, I think the second one is supposed to be a better game. Like the way,
I felt the second one whenever I did go online, there was a lot more people milling around, like in their home bases and stuff. Whereas in the first one, everyone was kind of like spread out, which you'd think would be the opposite with the maps being the way they are.
Yeah.
But I think in New York, everyone just sort of centered on the same 3 locations because that's where the best loot drops.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool. Well, that's probably the end of our news then, is it?
It is.
So yeah, let's move on to the socials. I never know this, or I'm never good at this. So you can find us most places. Googling us is just as easy. We're on most of the socials: Facebook, Insta, Blue Skies, name it, we're there. The biggest one is tell a friend.
Yeah.
Now, you can email us at gaminggarnish@gmail.com. And you can message us on socials too, I guess. We take that too, don't we?
Discord is the best place. Ultimately, we're on Discord. There's chats going on all the time. That's the best place. Definitely.
100%. We're doing We're doing a bit of a push on YouTube as well recently. I mean, you'll probably be listening to this on Spotify, I imagine, or some podcast app. But we are doing a bit of a push on YouTube. We're releasing segments of the podcast as separate videos. So,
well, very cool.
If you don't have full time to listen to the whole episode, you'll find the backlog on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or you will soon.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, all that being said, move on to the special segment. Brad.
So this month's special segment is extra special because we're doing an interview. We're doing an interview with someone who is an absolute titan, from my opinion, a titan of the industry in games journalism. It's Scott Tailford.
Indeed, very excited.
Let's move on to that interview now.
Special segment.
Right, hello, Scott. Scott Tailford. Welcome to the Gaming Garnish podcast.
Oh, an absolute pleasure, mate. Thank you so much for getting me on.
Glad to have you here.
To have you here.
Definitely, honestly.
Yeah. Shall we kick things off just for the people who might not know who you are? Just introduce yourself. Tell us a bit of Scott lore. Your experience in game journalism. We want to hear it.
He gets ill once a week. It's the fact hour. So you probably know me from What Culture stuff. Like I joined What Culture at the very end of 2013 and was there until mid 2025, and became over time used to write film articles, offbeat comedy stuff, music stuff, and then obviously gaming coverage. But the gaming stuff blew up so much that they were like, "You should be the gaming guy. You should be like the gaming channel manager or whatever." And then over time became the head of gaming. And then beginning of the 2020s, What Culture got sold off to this big company called Future. And so I stuck around with that for a bit, but I was like, I kind of want to do something else. And then broke away. I still do freelance stuff for them to pay the bills and help people out and everything. Broke away in the middle of last year and started the Just Good Game Show, which is just like a more positive skewing thing and an excuse to celebrate games more, that kind of thing. But I haven't got any fancy Scott lore, I don't think. I've been lucky enough to be recognized in New York City, which blew my mind.
Wow.
So I'll have that. That's my fact.
No, that's awesome. I mean, I've been following you on What Culture for 5-6 years now. Started with YouTube and then moved on to the podcast, which I've been listening to every single one for about
sick, man. Thank
3
you.
years, at least. Maybe not since the very beginning, but for at least 3 years I've been listening to all your stuff. So that's been awesome. I remember you saying on a few podcasts that your previous management wasn't the best. We'll leave it at that. But when you got bought out by Future, did you find a sort of a notable shift then? Because although you have left since then, did you find that at least improved the sort of work culture at What Culture?
Yeah, well, it was just different because it's like the people that we had before, it's like they were really good. I guess you would say they were really good at productivity because they didn't know what they wanted. But they know what they didn't want. And it was a lot of just churning stuff over. Like the reason that on the gaming side, anyway, I'll only speak for the gaming side, to be able to turn so many things over was, the lists, like they knew that they worked. So it was like, do as many of them as you can, do as many voiceovers as you can, put as many ideas out to the freelance writers as you can, go, 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 go. And like the old school What Culture, it originally started as a website called Obsessed with Film. And then it blew up and became What Culture across the 2010s. And but there was always a small outfit. Like it was 3 owners. And then I came in 2013. I was only like the 5th person or something. And then it got bigger and bigger. But when they got bought out by Future and it became like a bigger company with like an actual, various different departments and like corporate oversight and that kind of stuff, and like monthly targets and budgets and all the boring KPIs stuff. It's still, that's a lot more refined than the sort of garage band approach that they had beforehand. So it got a lot more, not necessarily streamlined, but a lot more professional and corporate or whatever you would call it. And that's when they made me head of gaming because like I was doing so much back then. I'd taken on so many roles, so many different bits of jobs over the years. Like we launched the podcast. So I started being the podcast host, which I wanted to do, making thumbnails, writing the articles, giving ideas out to people, being on the pods, editing the pods, like everything. I was doing everything. So when the corporate lot came in and they were just sort of like, let's talk about your role, I was like, yes, let's talk about all these things that I've been doing. And then they were like, you should be head of gaming, and did that for like 3 years. I think we got bought out in 2022. So so it became a lot more like checks and balances, and you were actually, you could go to like a department and be like, I think I'm a bit overworked, I think I'm doing this or whatever. And I've talked about it on the pods, but I ended up taking like a few months off for mental health stuff, like in April last year, because I just had way too much on my plate, and obviously trying to juggle all of that with a tiny child as well will just tip the balance, tip the scales over eventually. So
I really appreciate how candid you are on the podcast, you and Josh, and sort of everyone, talking about mental health, and it's such an important conversation to have that you don't really hear in this sort of space. It's always been really good to hear.
Thank you.
And you can definitely find your touch on pretty much all of What Culture Gaming's stuff. You definitely see where Scott's hand's been.
Yeah, and it's not just gaming as well, because I remember watching it 6 years ago, and you're doing like the comic side and the movie side as well.
That was like, because basically, like for the most part across 2010s, like the old bosses, Matt and Peter were the two of the people who were heading the place up. Like they would just hire all this great talent. Like, you had Jules and Ash and like so many different people who obviously were all massive nerds. We're all into so many different things. And all those sections were all like, so available to be jumped on. And we were all watching the movies, like, I don't know, because then we had such a good run as well. Like you had the Game of Thrones rollout, the Marvel rollout, like the MCU rollout, Star Wars rollout. We had so many conversations to have. So it was like, well, we're having them in the office anyway. Just put the cameras on, go talk about it.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, and it was just, it was just so many things to jump on, so many talking points.
It sounds like almost exactly obviously we're nowhere near as big as that, but we had the same conversation. Me and Jake used to it. Family events all the time, talk about games. Why don't we just hit record?
Our parents are sat there going, what the hell are you talking about?
I think you need that though, like that passion, like genuinely that passion, that part of you that, like, I remember like years ago, I was talking to this guy called Alex who used to head up the film section, or like one of the main writers of the film section. He's over at Screen Rant now, Alex Ledbeer. Cool. And me and him were talking, we were just talking, we were on like a Christmas night out. It was back in like 2014, 2015. And we were arguing about something, as we were wont to do. And as we were doing that, Peter, one of the bosses, just was like sort of leaning in, listening to us. And he was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I would listen to it. And I was just like, that's kind of all you need. I always think the passion, the knowledge base, like comes through regardless. Like, and you almost might as well monetize it. I was kind of always thinking like, if this is what I would be doing for free, I might as well get paid for it.
100%. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Joe, I think you had a question.
Yes, partially you did answer it in your introduction there, but I was thinking of asking, how do you get started with What Culture? Like, did they invite you? Did you want to join them? Like, have you heard their stuff before? And then it was like, oh, I'll join them. And
so, it was way back in, 2013. I actually ended up applying twice because they had a listing for a new position through the Guardian's job page. Which I don't know if that's like specific to the UK, but like the Guardian, obviously the newspaper for like global listeners. But then they have like the Guardian jobs page. So they were listed on there because I was coming out of my master's and I was just Googling like media jobs UK, writing jobs UK, anything like that, different keywords, whatever. And I found, the listing on the jobs page for the Guardian. So I applied through there. And then, oh man, there was they were on Indeed as well. But I didn't realize they were the same thing. It was like, it was listed more sort of vaguely, I think, on Indeed. It didn't say What Culture. It just said like content, content writer, something like that. So, I just applied and then went in. And then I kind of recognized the name, like once I was actually sat in the place being like, oh yeah, I kind of know this name. Because they'd been going for a couple of years. Well, they were going since 2008. I was obsessed with film. Then they became What Culture in I think 2011, 2012-ish. And they were doing big list content and things like that. YouTube hadn't started yet. Excuse me. So, so it was like, I just applied out of uni really. And then just went in and I had a blog back then. Like I had this thing called rockthereforeiam.com.
Amazing name.
I needed a name and I was like doing bits of philosophy at uni and I was like, rock the 4am. That's cool. And I'll do that. And so... Thank you. And so on there, I had some lists that I'd written myself, like top 10 riffs and best games and things like that. So ironically, that kind of worked as like a something I could submit like during the interview stage to be like, I know how to do numbered lists, and that worked quite well. So yeah, it was just applying, and then like I said, they were a tiny team back then. It was like Matt and Peter. They had a coder. I think they had another writer called Ed, and then I was like the fifth one in. Oh, and Simon as well, Simon Gallagher.
And you didn't just start straight in the gaming, as you said before, didn't you? You did a bit of music and stuff.
Yeah, they actually hired me as a music offbeat guy, like because they were just because you know, you guys will all remember, but you know, like the BuzzFeed boom of the early 2010s.
Yes.
Of
course.
Yeah.
The quizzes.
So, like, yeah, exactly. Quizzes, like it was like offbeat stuff. Like I can't even think of an example, but it was the more sort of quirky, the better, like or whatever. So they were launching, like they had film, they had TV, they had gaming and music, and then they were launching this offbeat section. But they brought me in as a music guy because that was like one of the areas that I'd done like modules in uni, and so it was like music coverage, but and bits of the offbeat stuff. It was like, what can you think of to BuzzFeed type stuff, and I did a few of that, and mainly the music at the time, but then occasionally I would do gaming, and then the gaming stuff would just do so much better. Like I just knew what I was talking about, like, you know, in terms of the conversations, things you were saying, what you guys would talk about, where like everyone knows, I feel like everyone knows the conversations in the gaming industry. Like right now, High God's out in like a week. And there's a conversation around that. Well, exactly. But you know exactly what I'm talking about without me being more specific. And I always think that if you can tap into that like invisible line of conversation, you'll be all right. And so like, yeah, I kind of, it's that stuff where it's like, I was always having to convince the boss, like, let me talk about this. Everyone's talking about this. And he would be like, well, I've not heard of it. I'm like, I know, but you're not dialed in. Like,
you're not in the sphere.
And so like, yeah, it was that. And so I ended up like steering into the gaming stuff just over time.
I don't think you get those sort of conversations in music, really. I feel like when it comes to music, it's more someone's subjective opinion on whether they like the band. There's not as much objectivity or even kind of news. You know,
it's funny, man, because like stuff, I kind of found this in music coverage where you would come across like legacy topics, but they were just so old. Like it would be, you know, because like I'm trying to think what Metallica album had dropped around then. Obviously, Death Magnetic's like 2008, but Metallica, for an example, the go-to with them would be them versus Megadeth again, and be like, let's
ancient history,
because like. You're trying to do like, what would people be searching for? What would draw people in? Like it's that conversation, invisible conversation thing that everyone's talking about. But like, what is that conversation around X given band? And then Metallica, for example, would always be the Megadeth thing, but that's just so boring to me.
That only then appeals to metalheads as well. Whereas I feel like gaming is quite, you know, it appeals to gamers, and that's quite a big.
Well, it's
very broad. Yeah.
If you don't like the same genre, like I'm not a Resident Evil guy. Sorry.
How dare you?
Get out. Get out now.
No, I better leave the podcast. But I'm still really interested in the news for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
he's funny. He doesn't like scary games. It's hilarious to watch.
Why would you put yourself through it?
You should totally do. Not to give you content ideas, but this is how my brain I do this all the time with Josh, and he's like, mate, can you turn off? I'm like, I can't do it. You should do non-horror fan reacts to Resident Evil or something like that.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely been
subjecting you to
it's 100% been threatened before.
Well, me and Jake played The Bunker as one of our backlog games.
Oh, that's awesome.
I had to go round to his house to play it because I was too scared to play it on my own.
Me and Joe cowered.
And we got like a tenth of the way through the game, and we thought, we can't go anymore.
I was dead excited to play it because of Josh, and I was so scared. Now I'm not that much of a, like, I can play horror games, but I just remember this one. I was on a work trip and I downloaded it on my laptop and I was playing it on my own in a hotel room, and things were going past the window, and I was like, nope, I am out. I'm not playing this anymore.
Goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for picking that, Ben.
So I've got one. But not to brag, but I am an ex-chef who used to do ungodly hours, and I hated it with a passion. But as a consequence of that, it would I'd come home and I wouldn't want to cook, and I'd live off microwave meals, and I wouldn't want to do anything in the kitchen at home. Do you ever find that in gaming? So if you're covering it a lot of the time, God, don't know how many hours you'll do probably, and then you come home, it's the last thing you want to look at.
Funnily enough, no, not really. I know exactly what you mean, and I think it's more like a concentration thing. Like if I've had to like record all day, like a couple of podcasts, a couple of news videos, and it's more so before I went solo, like before July last year, where like I was, because obviously it's full-time work until then. Like now I'm freelance, even though it still takes up all my time. But when I was still full-time, it was more like a level of concentration that you would have, because you're on all the time. Like I'm talking to you right now, like this is me, but I'm still obviously projecting, like, you know what I mean? Like when you're recording something, you're more aware. Yeah, podcast voice, or just like you're making sure you're coming across well, or whatever it is. And if I was like recording all day, that's like a few hours of podcasting, do some news, you got to research it, put the notes together, perform that to Calm, even though it's just having a conversation. So at the end of the day, I would be quite glad to like decompress or whatever. But it's not the games necessarily. It's more just let me play something that's a bit easier or something like that. It's also, I tell you, the parallel to that would be playing something for review versus like playing something for yourself. Because I've done loads of games where I've played like Final Fantasy VII Remake. I didn't finish that until about 4 a.m, and then I did the review at 9 a.m. And like Uncharted 4. It's for the love of the game. Uncharted 4 in 2016. Like it's not that it was an early hour finish, but I remember that taking forever to finish. I thought the pacing at the end of that game just wouldn't end. And so sometimes when you're like, well, I've got to get through it because I need to do the review. But like over this past Christmas break, I've just been playing this fishing game called Cast and Chill, which is awesome. It's like it's super relaxing, beautiful pixel art, catching some fish, and no one gives a shit. Like I'm not doing any coverage on it. Like I mean, I've mentioned it on my show to be fair, but no, it wasn't planned that way. And so I think the difference is that where like obviously I chose to get into this as a career and a profession or whatever you want to call it. But there is a difference to just no pressure and no like work related reason why no content related reason why you're doing it.
The context in which we play the games can often affect it more than the game.
Yeah. There's a misconception, I think, that anyone who's doing reviews does those within work hours, which obviously we've talked about many times, but I think the way I see it anyway, because I talk about games, you know, a lot, not necessarily when I'm recording, but just like with people who share the same interest, and that makes me excited to play the game. I probably spend more time talking about games than I actually do playing them, to be perfectly honest.
It's definitely that with Elden Ring.
yeah. And it makes me want to go home and play them. So is that how you find it? Like you're talking about them all day, and then you come home and you're like, now I want to play that game I've talked about.
Oh, it's funny, man. Like, I ended up making, like, this morning, because me and Josh just recorded, like, it's Tuesday today, so we didn't get time to do the wind-up yesterday, so we did that today, plus the main What Culture Gaming podcast will go out tomorrow, or on Wednesday. And when we were recording that, he was talking about Divinity Original Sin 2 and the Skyrim DLC, because we were playing some old stuff, and I was like, I'm going to have to get home, and well, I'm already at home, but I'm going to play Divinity Original Sin 2. And I do that all the time. Like, it's that level of passion I was talking about before, but I always think if someone talks at me about how much they fucking love something, I'm like, I want to join you. Like, I want to see what you're talking about. And so, I'm nearly always noting stuff down. I use Google Keep a lot, like the note-taking thing. And I nearly always end a day or end a session talking to someone like Josh or Ewan or whoever, going like, that's the next thing I'm going to play is this, but it just joins this list of to play stuff that you never get around to.
The backlog.
The backlog.
Yes. You're really good at jumping into games for like a couple hours and just getting your fill of them, aren't you? Whereas I've got the disease, I've got to finish it.
Well, I mean, I set myself like a New Year's resolution thing this year to have better game discipline, because I always did what you just said, where I always applied like a buffet approach, where I was like, let me like dabble in like 8 different things and I'll see what I like the taste of, and then I'll finish that. But this year, I'm like, no, I'm going to finish the thing that I've started. I want to see credits. Like, I'm trying to convince myself or remember the satisfaction of hitting credits before I move on. So at the minute, I'm determined to get through. Well, KOTOR at the minute, but
it's so
mine's gone exactly the other way. This year, I've just been I've just been playing so many random games and just going, I'm done with that now.
I made it was like a mid-year resolution last year to not finish as many games, specifically when I'm not enjoying them, because I had the habit of getting to a point where I'm like, I'm a bit fed up with this. I need to stop. I'm just going to keep going. And then by the end, I've just sort of ruined the experience. So sort of got into the habit now of like, if I'm not enjoying it, give it a break. If I go back to it, it's because I want to. And then maybe I do.
Well, I mean, a big change for me was just becoming a dad. Like it just reduces the amount of time I've got. Like, I don't know if any of you are dads or whatever, but it's like I only have like 2 or 3 hours ish on a night. Like, then sometimes little man takes longer to put down. I'm like, do you realize you're eating into my game time? Like, I have like a couple hours. And so that drastically forced a level of perspective around like, well, how do I want to spend my time? And then, certain games that have like a tedious puzzle solution where I can't figure out what I'm supposed to do. I'm like, I'm just going to have to YouTube it, Google it, whatever. I need to move on. I can't be arsed with this boss, whatever
Sorry
it is.
to tell you, it doesn't get better. My daughter's 12 and it's still eating into my time.
No!
He says with 600 hours in Factorio.
Yeah. That's a skill, thank you.
But no, I found it even, I don't have a child or anything, but I find it now where, because my time is so limited, if I am stuck on something, I will just Google it, because I'll try it for 10, 15 minutes. But if it's
we all know you cheat, Brad.
Yeah, I cheat. I play a lot of games with my partner, but like in a parallel play kind of way. So she'll watch me playing, and she'll get like a guide up. So if I'm playing Resident Evil, she'll be like, "Oh, there's a green herb around the corner." Like, oh, okay,
right, okay.
So I'm a cheater apparently.
Yeah, I mean that's like, people use strategy guides. It goes back many years.
We'd have to wait till the end of the month for them to come out anymore.
Know where I come from.
So we've talked about What Culture, obviously, and now you got your new channel.
Yes.
So what spurred that on? What made you want to start the new channel?
Well, I had the idea years ago of just doing just a straight up positive gaming news show, because there's just so much default negativity in the industry. And like obviously everyone knows that like negative stuff sells, like it just does. Like it's like a weird human psychology thing where like we respond to a negative headline far more than we do a positive one. Yeah. And so I had the idea years ago of calling something Just Good Game News, and then I just didn't go with it. Like, that kind of thing doesn't make enough money to justify it through the What Culture lens. So to be fair, I didn't really pursue it that much within What Culture. It was just an idea I had a while ago. Yeah. And then it was during when I finally sort of maxed out in like April last year, where I was crying, I was all over the place. I was like crawl up into a ball on the floor. Like I'd taken way too much on, and couldn't find much of a way forward other than just processing it all at once. And once that calmed down a little bit, where I was like, because then you start thinking, well, I've got to go back to work, and you go back to this thing that made me get so wound up. And I was like, okay, what do I want to keep from that job, and what do I want to change about it? And that was when I started thinking, like, well, I could pull the trigger on the Just Good Game thing, and it was going to be Just Good Game News, but I think that was already a YouTube, that was already a podcast. So I was like, okay, that then it became Just Good Game Show, which I know doesn't make grammatical sense, but like I was like, well, someone could have good game, like it's a good game show. I'd already said it
about that, to be honest.
Because I had Rich Hudson, who I used to work with, who was at What Culture. He's over at Frontier now. He works on Planet Zoo, it is Planet Zoo. And all that kind of stuff, and Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo. And he started making me the assets. That's why the assets look awesome. And then like everything else is just me with a microphone and using Audacity. But he made me the Just Good Game News stuff. And then I was like, oh, actually, mate, it's already a podcast. Let's do Just Good Game Show. And I just sort of like said it. He made me that, and we kind of went with it. But yeah, it was just born out of like, I just want to celebrate the medium, the art form, the games. Like I know what sells, and I know how to do that coverage, and I have done it for like over a decade. And yeah, it was just born out of going like, I'm pretty sure there's an audience of people who are mature adults or whatever who just enjoy games and just want to talk about like the specific parts. Like I haven't done many I've only done one episode. I've got another one recorded that I haven't edited called like One Genius Moment, which is just an excuse to, the first episode was an excuse to just celebrate a particular part of Ghost of Yote that I thought was really cool. And I was like, I just want to try and foster that community a little bit and be like, aren't games great? Because like they're pretty good. Yeah. And I want to just do that. So like I want an excuse to be able to talk about the cast and chills of the world, as well as, the GTA 6s or whatever. Or if that particular week, I don't really want to talk about GTA 6, even though it makes sense for the algorithm, I want to do something else. You would hope that people will respond to that because of a shared love of the medium itself, like without covering the most minuscule things, but hopefully there's a way to do it. But yeah, it was just kind of born out of like, I've done the big mainstream coverage, corporate stuff for like over a decade. Let me just try a smaller approach with a more dedicated group of people. And I mean, it's only a couple of thousand people that come back on the YouTube. A lot, I can combine podcast stats, YouTube stats, and the Patreon, but it's more than enough for me. Like, I just want to sing about stuff and hope that anybody cares, really, other than my wife, who's sick of me yelling at her about Arc Raider.
And the audience is definitely there for good news. We put out like an audit of our channel basically to our Discord and say, what do you want to hear more of? And says, well, can we hear more good things about games, please? Everything seems to be bad nowadays. Just tell us the good things for a bit.
And I think it's like there's an assumption that like it has to be, or that it would be like cheesy or something, but I feel like This will sound cheesy, but it's like that idea of like games being a bunch of ones and zeros and we're all people are coding them and everything else.
Yeah.
I genuinely find that to be like astonishing, like magic. Like you've made these incredible, controllable, Hollywood blockbusters or even something way smaller, 2D, side-scrolling, whatever it is. I find that to be so cool. And I'm just like, but we hardly ever spend that much time going like, lads, have you seen how cool this is? Like most of the time it's like, this thing's really disappointing or this thing looks like it's going to be crap. And that's fine. That is the conversations that we have, and that's fine. But I just wanted to just be like, hey, by the way, this thing's cool. That's why I do some deals of the week, just being like, hey, by the way, this thing from like 5 years ago, that's still awesome, and it's down to like £2. You guys should go play it or whatever. Like, it's just an excuse to talk about that stuff, things that wouldn't otherwise work in a bigger business.
No, definitely. It almost feels like magic sometimes, the way these things come together. Expedition 33 last year.
Oh, you have to set him off, don't you, Jake?
How did we get here again?
I hope you've got another hour spare, guys.
I've got a tattoo, have I mentioned it?
That's it.
We loved Expedition.
Just the way that came together, I don't think anything else in the world has almost come together that well.
I don't think you can ever will. Like the story behind that game was incredible, isn't it? Like, how it happened.
I know it wasn't on SoundCloud, but finding the composer just on some random website.
I thought it was SoundCloud. It was the Reddit's where they got the lead writer, I think.
I read it was not quite SoundCloud, but it was very similar to SoundCloud. It was some sort of like French version or something, but it was actually something else. But
and then I
just love the idea of like, like you've got Guillaume Broche breaks away from Ubisoft, has a certain amount of money, but then brings in a bunch of juniors and first timers, and they just knock it out the park. Like I know they have a bunch of contractors as well, but like stuff like that gives me so much like hope for the future of the industry. Not that it's like waning, but it makes me go like, oh, if you guys can achieve that, like we don't have anything to worry about.
And the thing is, it's so easy to talk about good stuff and it makes you happy, but because there's so many negative things that are happening, it's also easy to gravitate towards that and then find yourself sort of getting down as you're talking about.
Even with reviews, like we obviously talk about a lot of games, I always feel like I have to bring up a negative
to like balance it out.
I've always thought like it's because I don't think it shouldn't be blind optimism. It's just like a general, what were they going for? The creators, what are they going for? What did they nail? I see what they were going for. Like you can always tell if someone's arguing from good faith or bad faith. If it's like, like a mark of a good critic or whatever is going like, this part of this level kind of falls apart, but previously they were going for this. Like I see it, I see the vision, but next time or whatever. And like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like they'll probably be able to take that and learn from it and nail it next time or something. But
that was exactly my stance with Expedition 33 as well. I see what they're going for and they nailed it. It just wasn't my jam.
Yeah,
I can see what a great game it is. It's just not for me.
Yeah, Josh Brown from What Culture was like, he was done after the second act twist, like the big twist, that reframes everything. He was like, this takes me out of it entirely and I can't get back in. And that was him. Like he enjoyed it, but he was like, nah, which is also
half an hour. Half an hour I was done. There was no belts, there was no machinery. I'm not in.
No crafting.
It is lacking in belts and machinery.
Ben's not happy unless he's running an Amazon warehouse.
Oh yeah.
With the shotgun. It has to also have
a shotgun.
I think it's really important to have those sort of nuanced conversations, though, rather than just this game good or this game bad. We mentioned Highguard 15 minutes ago, and we're all sort of like, we all know that's coming out and we're all kind of anticipating it flop, but I'm not seeing anyone say, well, actually, no, this part of the trailer does look pretty good. Like,
it's funny, man, because like I was like, looking into that game a little bit, because obviously it's out in next Monday, and like I'm planning, I'm gonna record the first hour, let's see what it's like. Two things, like one, I was like, is this a masterful play? Have they delivered? I mean, I know they've not released anything else, any of the trailers apart from the one that was at the Game Awards, but this has resulted in almost daily conversations around Highguard. And like, they're negative, but they're also very anticipatory, and they're very like, well, we'll see, which is more eyeballs on the thing than they would have had if they kept going with regular gameplay. Like,
people
I don't know.
Check it out.
That's a nice spin on it, to be fair.
Because the thing is, like, I forget who pointed this out, but like, I know it's ex-Respawn devs, but some people were like, oh, are they approaching it the same way that Respawn approached Apex Legends, which was just nothing at all, and then here's the game, and then you guys figure it out. And it's like, maybe they're doing that, and the game will speak for itself. But that was one thing. I was looking into the gameplay, and it's not a hero shooter. It's more like a tower defense thing. Like, it's like guarding a place and you have different powers, and then you have to summon this like battering ram tank thing to like break into someone else's like arena and then take them on. And I was like, oh, there's some cool dynamics. None of that came across in the trailer, but like cool. And so it's weird.
I did also read the other day that they never actually asked for it to be defined in the
yeah, I heard this as well, actually. Yeah.
Apparently, Jeff Keighley just really liked it, and I love that he thought he was doing them a favor. Being like, it's the guys that did Titanfall. It's Highguard, and then we're all like, Jeff, you've kind of killed it, mate.
No, I mean, I want to check it out, and yes, it is a bit of morbid curiosity, but if it's good enough, yeah, maybe I'll stick around. I am deep into Arc Raiders right now, so maybe not, but maybe.
Well, that's my thing with Highguard is like I applaud the team doing their own thing. Like they left
100%
Respawn doing their own thing. I personally don't care about that art style. Like it didn't grab me at all. I kind of did watch that trailer going like, it's another one of them, is it? And just fair enough. But I think if the gameplay is good enough, it'll carry. I just think that I'll be amazed if it's still going in like, let's say 3 years, 2 years. Like
give it that long.
Concord.
Then well, that's
current
Concord.
record to beat, isn't it?
But even then, like Concord, there was obviously rightfully a lot of negativity. But I spent a few weeks in this podcast defending some of the positive elements on it because there was some positive elements on it. You know, they're hard to find, but they're there, and I'd rather talk about those.
It's funny how much of it I said this on the. I think I put so much stuff out that I forget where I said this. but I remember going down the route of like, isn't it kind of crazy that at this point one bad teaser just screws you forever?
Yeah,
like, it's like you get like 30 seconds to make a mark and that's it. Like and then there's no sort of reapproaching the potential positives later on or whatever. And some games like they are just repugnant or repulsive or whatever. And I think that art style and it's so all encompassing because it's kind of Fortnite. It's kind of anime, like it's a bunch of different things. But anything that lines up with that color palette, most people now just go, I don't want it at all.
Yeah,
like get it away from me.
The people who want
else is in there.
The people who want it already have their fix with Fortnite or with Overwatch. So you don't. There's kind of no point trying to crack that again. Just move on, do something different. And there's plenty of unique art styles. Then you look at something like Marathon, which does have a unique art style, but that's also not getting its cut through. I saw that the release date was announced the other day, and it just feels too close to Arc Raiders to me.
Apparently it's I saw that too, that they're March 5th I think is what they're going for, and it's like it's currently I think number 5 in the Steam pre-order chart, so it has managed to get a little bit of traction after all this time.
No, awesome, because I don't want to see anything fail. I want to see teams succeed, because if they fail, we all know what happens, and no one wants that, because then we have to talk about it.
Yeah, straight back to the negative.
I think it's a good balance. The thing with Concord as well, like that's why I started mentioning all the stuff with Highguard and everything. Is like Concord was like supremely proficient. Like those cutscenes were extremely well made. Character models great. Like they had a vision-ish for the game. I didn't feel like it had much lore to it, but like it was identifiable. And but like I said, there's something about that art style where it's like it veers too close to it and then we just don't want it at all. And I just don't know if more studios or more game projects need to be, because the amount of time it takes to put a game out, it's like, I imagine if you're a dev who has something that is close to that style, you're just going like, oh God, like we just shouldn't put this out at all, and try and do something else. Because at this point, the market is speaking very loudly that they're not even going to consider other elements of the game, because that side of it is just like, so off-putting.
And it takes so long to make these games. So it might be somebody who's like 2 years out from bringing a game out. They've seen Concord and Highguard and everything over the last couple of years. Absolutely shitting bricks.
Just going, oh
no. Hopefully not though.
Cool. So I got another one if I can chuck it out. So one of the things we like to do is when we talk about our top games, we talk about the games we played over what came out that year.
Yeah, instead of doing our top 10 games of last year, it is top games we played.
So we were going to ask you top 3 games you played last year.
I will consult my what have I played thing. My memory is
a list.
Oh, good. It's not just me.
It used to be better, but then even then, whenever I talked, because me and Josh worked together on so much stuff, and when the pandemic started to end, like 2022, when they got people back in the offices, it was me and Josh that were the first ones back in, and I feel like that's when my memory started to go, because I would just ask him basic stuff like, "Did we film this morning?" He's like, "Yes, we did," and then ever since then, I don't know if having a kid or whatever has compounded it, but nearly everything just blurs into one in terms of trying to recall, like, I did this last year, I did this the year before.
I found helped when we did our lists. I went through my achievements, because that if you go on like the Xbox app or the PlayStation app or anything, it actually
that was the only way I
found
found
achievements in order to got them. So you can just go right down to when it changes over to 2024.
I've been using that backlog website. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
There was a few sites that were going to be like the Letterboxd of gaming, and it seems like Backlogged has become that thing, because there was a one called like GG App or something for a while. And I remember thinking, like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to build the archive, I need like the winner, because there was like 3 or 4 trying to do it at the same time. But it seems like Backlogged has become the one.
It's pretty good. You can obviously write your review if you want, or just put however many stars you want. I don't even think you have to do that, to be honest. You can just say, I've played that. It was good.
I like the idea of just having like a general, list, archive of what I've done. My memory's terrible. I'm flicking down through the PlayStation app of stuff that I played there. Maybe it wasn't as big as other stuff. Would you class Shinobi Art of Vengeance as small enough?
Yeah.
None
of us played it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I would go Shinobi Art of Vengeance. I would go Sword of the Sea. I would go... I Am Your Beast got released on consoles last year.
Nice.
Which, let me, wait a minute, I've minimized you while I was making some notes, and then I started talking anyway. The Shinobi game, awesome. I love the whole like Sega revival that's going on, like art style wise. I love that super inky Street Fighter 4 kind of look. And then it plays super, super well. Like another one would be the Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Like we got so many Ninja Gaiden games last year, and Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is like was one of my favorite games of the year. But yeah, in terms of like really super tight action ninja platformers, Shinobi's brilliant. And it launched like hell on the Switch. Needed like a resolution patch and everything. So I think that knocked a few people away from checking it out. But that's awesome. And then Sword of the Sea.
You said Ninja Gaiden there for a minute and nearly got on my rant that he's not a ninja. Carry on.
He's just trying his best. He's doing what he can.
There's no stealth in Ninja Gaiden, so it
he's a thug.
Really
you're not wrong, actually. Yeah, he's just coming at people, like just flinging swords, daggers, or he's exploding people.
Hey, if you kill them before they see you, that's stealth.
Yes. Stealth to that person.
Yeah. Even if it's with a bomb.
Yeah.
But yeah, then you got Sword of the Sea, which is a really cool game by Giant Squid. They're people who used to be with that game company. Kind of like just Tony Hawk's in a desert. But gorgeous music. Yeah. Like I love Austin Wintory, the composer. It was like his most recent game. And then my man, what was the third one that I said?
It was I Am Your Beast.
I Am Your Beast.
Yeah.
Which is the new one from Xavier Nelson Jr., who did a game called El Paso Elsewhere, like a while ago, like 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Yeah, I didn't know it's the same person, actually.
That was like a Max Payne-like, but I love him because he does he voices the characters. He's part of the coding team, the art department, and he runs this studio called Strange Scaffold, where I forget, he did an interview breaking down the economics of his studio, but it's basically he pays everybody in advance. So if the game bombs, then he absorbs it. It's not on the rest of them.
Cool.
And I think that I was like, that's an interesting way to run stuff. But yeah, El Paso Elsewhere was very Max Payne, but like killer voice performance from him as the main guy. And then I Am Your Beast is like this first person like Rambo style game where you're just you're in the forest, you're being hunted by your former unit, you're taking dudes out in the most stylish way possible, chaining stuff together, like throwing a knife, headshot, whatever. With really great music on that. He's also like the vocalist in some of the music as well.
Oh, sick. Cool.
So yeah, I Am Your Beast is probably the top of those 3 anyway.
I played a couple of missions on that. I really enjoyed it. It's really Is it supposed to be funny? Just how how flat it is? Yeah,
I think he has such like a dark sense of humor. Like El Paso Elsewhere is about this guy. I think he's called James. His partner, he basically realizes is like Satan herself, and they've broken up, and she's like opened up a portal to hell in the middle of Texas, and he has to go there and go down like 100 floors to try and get back to her. So it's very like sardonic, and he's very like aware of his stupid situation, and he's like, oh, if I hadn't dated this woman, but now I've got to do this. And so yeah, he definitely has like a good sense of humor, like a sharp sense of humor.
Awesome. I want to explain something to you really quick, and then I'm going to ask you a question off the back of it. So one of our USPs on the Garnish podcast is we do a section called the Buried by Backlog, which if you imagine like a book club, where once a month, isn't it? Once a month, we take it in turns, and one of us suggests a game from our backlog, and we all play it.
Cool.
It's a really good way to expand our backlog so that we never get to our own, but then also play games that we never would have played. So, for example, I think Jake picked Tunic last year.
Oh yeah,
which he loved. Some of us,
so
not
hard.
so much.
it is hard, but it's worth it. It's worth it. It's so good.
But it's sort of brought to the forefront some of our favorite games over the course of doing this podcast. So I wanted to ask you, if there was a game you could add to our backlog, what would it be?
To make you guys all play?
Yeah.
It'll go on the wheel, we'll add, because we do spin the community wheel.
We've got community
how are all of you on like JRPGs? I know you mentioned Clair Obscur before. It's in that vein. Because now I'm going down the route of like, what games do I think everyone should have played? Yeah. And so now I'm going like Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 10.
I thought that might be.
But then I'm like, what's like a super cool, badass game? Oh, you guys should play Max Payne 3.
Oh, okay.
If you haven't played Max Payne 3.
That's
that game's so overlooked. Yeah, that's Rockstar stepped in, written by Dan Houser. Like it's very much like their take on the Max Payne lore kind of thing. But I love the way it's written. Like you talk about like sardonic humor that's in Xavier Nelson Jr.'s games, and the way that Dan Houser writes Max is so good, like so different to Max Payne 1 and 2. And there are a couple of flashback sequences where you play as like traditional looking Max Payne, but most of it is him shaving his head off. He's like in Sao Paulo, I think, and he's just accepted that he's a living joke. Like the whole point of it, he's like, I can't get anything done. I'm addicted to painkillers. I'm an alcoholic. Like it's so good. I love Max Payne 3.
Awesome.
I'd go with that.
That is going on the list because I've actually wanted to play that for ages, and
I've never got around to it.
So if you guys have played 1 or 2, I think the jump to 3 is like jarring, but in a great way.
Yeah, I've not played any of them. It's just I've got a few blind spots, and that is definitely one of them.
Oh, okay. In that case,
I was there for
you
one.
should probably play Max Payne 1.
What, when the remake comes out?
Well, yeah, if you wait long enough. It depends. The thing is, with that remake, I'm like, you guys better be reusing James McCaffrey's voice because that's some of the best line deliveries in gaming history.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice.
Get yourself on Max Payne 1.
Nice one. So speaking of this year, could you give us something you're looking forward to this year and maybe a wild prediction as well?
For 2026. Even though it feels like we're still in 2025.
It does.
Crazy.
So the game I'm most looking forward to, I did talk about this on the podcast, but not too much, is a thing called Screamer. It's like it's an arcade
looking forward to
game.
that. Yeah, it looks so good. It looks so cool. It does.
I've not read the anime, the manga, that it's based on.
Wait, there's a manga? I need to look that up.
I got this wrong last time as well. This is my brain doing the same thing twice. It's not that it's based on a manga. It's based on an original PC game in the 90s. And this is the brought it back. So I didn't play the original. I didn't know it was an original thing. But yeah, so it's like you'll know, but it's like super cool, cel-shaded arcade racer. Kind of looks like Burnout. Kind of looks like Split Second. Kind of looks like Auto Modelista if you're super old school. And but it also has all these really cool story cutscenes. This like really over the top like street racing mega boss. This dude who has like a horned mask on. You're trying to take him down.
Oh yeah.
And I just love the idea of doing arcade racing infused with like an anime storyline. I think it just looks awesome. So yeah, that's what I'm personally looking forward to the most. Like, obviously, there's the biggies, there's GTA 6, there's Resident Evil, but I love arcade racing so much, and I miss it because as much as Forza Horizon is cool and solid and fine, I don't love it. It hasn't connected with me anywhere near as much as like Burnout once did, or Split Second, or whatever.
If you haven't checked out Need for Speed Unbound, that's a great blend of the real car versus cartoon cutscene. It's great.
Like I love the art style for that, like the semi-cel shaded look. Like
but the cars put out like cartoon smoke and like comic bangs and stuff like that. It's so cool.
I love that game, man. It's a shame they don't have the cut through like they used to, because back when I was a kid, like racing games were like the thing.
Yeah,
loads of different franchises doing it, and you know we bought loads of them. I remember.
I think
it's just because Fast and the Furious was so big.
Yeah,
true. Yeah, whereas now it's not really a car.
The street racing scene, like even when I was in college, everyone was modding their cars. You don't see that anymore either. Citroen C1s with spoilers and body kits and big bass bins in the back.
Shout out to every like Peugeot 206 with blue strip light. In terms of a prediction, I'm going to go negative, but I think Xbox is the brand. It's done. Like it's already done, but they need to like we've got the corpse. You need to analyze it and pronounce the death or whatever, or do the autopsy. I think it'll be Windows gaming, Microsoft gaming, something like that by the end of the year. Because the term Xbox means less than nothing these days. You've got Game Pass, but you've already got, like, I've mentioned this so much on the pods, but like the changeover of Phil Spencer's job title to head of Microsoft Gaming. I think that's what they called him. It's not head of Xbox anymore. I just think that the term goes away, because what even is an Xbox anymore? They're trying to tell you it's everything.
Everything is.
Everything, yeah.
It's everything, it's nothing.
Am I wrong in saying that Microsoft Studios used to be a thing? Because I think
they still are.
Are they?
It's they used to be. They had that cool liquid black logo.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
From Fable, I remember that.
I don't know enough about the divisions of Xbox like within to know if that team got reassigned or whatever it is. But yeah, they used to have that in front of certain studios. But yeah, I just think that they give up trying to convince you that they are doing anything in regards to, like, this is the next Xbox. It's like, no, it's not. It's a Windows gaming platform, and that's okay, guys, because we've given up on you a long time ago.
Do you think the Steam machine will be a direct competitor to that then?
I think the price has killed that, because since that came out, that it's like $1,000, £1,000, and it's probably going to be even more than that once all the dust settles on the RAM stuff. I think that kind of kills it. But all the rumors, everything pointing to Half-Life 3, I think is a fun little double paddle resuscitate thing. So that, in case of emergency, break the glass in Half-Life 3.
Maybe that's the wild prediction. Half-Life 3 comes out this year.
Every single year, someone predicts it.
For as long as I remember.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was meant to be in December last year. It was meant to be like, that's when everyone was saying, like, oh, it's next week, we're going to see it. And then it didn't happen.
It's like the Prince of Persia remake that was supposed to drop at the end of Jan. I'm assuming it's not.
That was like the other day. Because bless Tom Ryan Smith, who came in and replaced me. He's the new gaming editor, head of gaming, and he's awesome. He's really lovely. He used to work at Gaming Bible, and I was trying to talk to him. I was like, "Prince of Persia's coming out, man. We should do this as a news." And he was like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "No, but it's fun." And like, look at all these different people who the other day were saying, like, oh, you know, there was like a releases.com, their database changed, and it came up as released next to the PC version. And I was like, well, if they know, then maybe that's the thing. And then like following like 3 or 4 different leaks being like, oh, this points to this thing. But then it didn't drop, and eggs on my face.
We had that same problem with Terminator No Fate. We had it on our games coming out like 5 months in a row because it kept moving.
By a month at a time.
Yeah.
At that point, I was giving up.
I've heard it's good. I've heard it's short, but I've heard it's really good.
It's very short. And the alternate reality stuff that they give you, the different timelines that you can do, like you can choose to not kill a certain character or whatever, they only really amount to like 2 more levels or something. Like it is quite a tight thing. It's a bit overpriced.
But then we've got the potential Witcher DLC coming up as well. That's another thing that seems to be a sure bet, but is it happening?
I can't think who said that was coming, but I would believe that, because that makes sense. Like, in The Witcher 4 has been in development for a long time. You can have it as a good bridge between the two. Like, it's also slightly insane that Witcher 3 is 11 years old. So it's primer.
It's even more insane that I only played it for the first time last year.
I know.
It was very good. It was very good.
I hounded it.
And I have still to play it. I bought it on many platforms already and just never got there.
I wonder why they don't do like a Ground Zeroes sort of thing. No, like Metal Gear for Metal Gear 5, when they could just do like a small game set on the Unreal Engine, you know, the new one, and play
like a 3.5.
Yeah. Maybe that.
I imagine that's what this will be for the most part. Because I mean, I'm just assuming, but like obviously you play as Ciri in Witcher 4, so I assume you do more levels with like the version of her that's in 3 with like the powers that she has, like the blink beaming power, thing that she can do. Like maybe you do that and it feels a bit different or something.
It might explain why, because they've said that she's going through the trials of the grass. It might explain that. That would be good.
Yeah, it could do.
Yeah.
I just realised you sat there with a Witcher jumper on.
Yes. I went to the concert celebrating the 10 years last year. It was ace.
Oh, it's lush, man.
That was great. What do you?
That was the game where, like, I think the hour count bugged, but on my hour count it said 620 hours, and I didn't know enough to be like. I mean, at the time I was like, hell yeah, it is. Like, it feels like that's what it should have been.
What do you have planned for this year? Like,
in terms of work stuff,
like projects, yeah.
Well, the little resolution thing that I put out on the podcast is that I'm making this the year of interviews, because I've had quite a lot, well, not a lot, but a good handful of people in the industry who said they will be on the pod. And like a lot of people say that really courteously. You know, people go, oh, you're starting a new podcast. I'll totally be on the podcast. And so I'm actually going to come calling now. I've been in touch with a couple of people. One of them is really big, which is crazy. If I get him on, that'll just be awesome. We'll see.
That is us getting you on, by the way, for this.
Yeah,
thank you. That's lush, man. But yeah, so I've been in touch already with 2 people. Got another 3 lined up, and then we'll see. Because I still get quite I don't know if it's nervous. I think it probably is nerves. Like before doing like an interview or something. Like I love talking to people in the industry. I've been lucky enough to talk to like Ed Boon and different people, and that's great. And when I'm in it, I'm fine. But like the lead up to it, when you're waiting to connect and you're on the digital lobby screen,
that's how we've all felt all day.
Yeah.
Shaking.
He's like, I hope they join right at the last minute. Are they going to join? There they are. Thank God they're out.
I hate that feeling so much that it makes me not want to do interviews, even though I want to ask people things. I want to know about their craft and everything else. So, so I kind of put off, because I initially started messaging people last year when I was like, I'm going solo. Do you want to be on the podcast or whatever? And then just didn't follow up with anybody. So I'm going to knock on a few digital doors and be like, hey, I'm still here, guys. Let's do this thing. So that's the plan, but I haven't got anybody nailed down for specific dates. Well, one of them I do at the start of February, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm hoping anyway.
If you want a Gaming Garnish representative,
hell yeah. We can totally sort that out. I don't know if all four of you want to be on, but yeah.
I'll happily.
Yeah. Because I've got at the minute, like I started doing like different sections for the video version of stuff. Like I've got the Just Good Game Show and then Just Good Game News. And I started doing every Friday, I had this like well-edited version of the news portion, which was like the breaking news and like 4 or 5 other little sections, which was taking me forever to edit. And like I said, I haven't got a whole lot of time with my son and everything. So I cut that down, but I still like the idea of like different sections for a show, like in terms of like, let's talk about the tips and tricks or the breaking news or the deals of the week or whatever. So if I ever get someone on, or when I start getting people on, I want to be able to have them on either all the sections and we just go through stuff. Like, let's talk about the breaking news together, or like, what game do you want to spotlight this week, or what's an overlooked gem of the week, or whatever.
So more like a guest than a direct interview.
Yeah, sort of like a temporary co-host or something. Awesome. Like I think that might be fun.
That'd be cool.
So, but then I have no idea how to set that up on a technical level. I think that's probably a Zencastr thing. But I think people have to send me their audio or something.
I mean, Zencastr ways, because you can just download it. You download everyone else's, but everyone else can download their own as well. So,
right, okay. There's this thing. This is just an off podcast conversation, but this thing takes video as well. So it's like it does kind of take care of everything. Yeah,
definitely.
The future's today.
Well, we're getting on a bit because I know you need to shoot off soon. But we've got one last question that I think is going to come to you, courtesy of Joe.
Okay. Oh, hang on. Let me get my notes up. I wasn't prepared.
Always ready.
It's the question.
No rush.
We ask.
It's a question from all of us, really. What is your favorite garnish?
Oh,
food garnish. You can't say us.
No, I thought that's one of your ultimate questions. Like, which one of us is your favorite? You're gonna try and go for
pick now.
Pick now. See, I'm going to need more terminology and more breakdowns, possibly from the chef. But like, how do we determine a garnish? Is that a savory only thing?
You can choose it. We've had chips, which I argued is not a garnish.
I didn't know Josh Brown was on this podcast.
Jake,
I said cheese, so
I don't think cheese is a garnish.
Parmesan. You can put Parmesan on as a garnish.
Yeah, okay.
Anything you can do this over the top of.
You can have anything.
Oh man, my brain is not serving me up a whole lot. Like I feel like Biscoff has come and gone. Like I feel like I steered into Biscoff for a while, and I feel like it's too common. I want more like a savory thing, like some sort of tomato, like
sun-dried tomatoes. They're good.
Yeah, like some sort of sun-dried tomato paste type thing that you would put over something. I'm doing this with a hand. I don't know what this is, but I would put it on something that's tomatoey, sun-dried tomato paste. Is that even a thing? And it can now.
Yeah, it can.
Yeah, sun-dried tomato.
If it's not, you can make it.
It's true. It's my particular garnish. I'll just mush some up and tip it on.
It's better than a bread ball for everyone who listens to What Culture.
Or a squished up fry where he's folded it 8 times.
Well, all I can say is thank you massively for your time, Scott.
Mate, anytime. Yes, I'm happy to like do more and stuff. It was just because it's like later on in the afternoon. But if you ever want to record earlier in the day, like especially on a Tuesday afternoon, like Tuesday afternoon, Thursday afternoon, that kind of thing. Like, yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you so much for getting me on.
That. Yeah, no, it's been great. Just thank you for everything you do. Thank you for this, but then thank you for all the content you put out. It's honestly really good, and it's given me a lot. I would never have listened to Sleep Token if it wasn't for you. And they're one of my favorite bands. So
I got another one. Yeah, and poisoned another mind.
And to be fair, Coheed, because I stopped listening to them until you mentioned them a couple of years ago. So.
Oh, mate, not the most recent album, but the one before that, their Vaxxus.
Yeah,
love
incredible.
That thing.
I even really liked the last one. Went to see him, got a tattoo. So
nice, man. So I'm debating. I'm a huge Alter Bridge fan, and their new one's doing it for me.
The new album, I think that's the best album they've had in a few years. seeing them.
I'm like this is just a me and it's a tiny conversation. But I actually quite liked the Walk the Sky album 2019 one.
It was good,
but I wasn't massive on Pawns and Kings. And then this one, I'm like, do I get another tattoo? I've already got an Alter Bridge tattoo, but I was like, I could get another
You need
one.
a Tremonti tattoo.
I do, to be fair. I've been lucky enough to talk to him and Miles. I've interviewed Tremonti twice and Miles once, and I wanted because I'm going. I don't know if you guys are going to the gig in February. One of the gigs.
Yeah, I'm going to Manchester. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm going to the Newcastle one in February, but I'm going to email them and be like, "Can I interview you? Even though it's a gaming podcast, can you please?"
Well, I've heard that Vessel's a big gamer from Sleep Token, so maybe that's one you need. He'll probably have a voice changer, but
they came out to like Mario or something. Elden Ring.
He always plays like a Halo or a Mario on piano.
Halo is what it was.
Yeah. And I've also saw a video of him playing Switch on stage. So
see, that's you in. Yeah, asking who his favorite Nintendo character.
We could descend into this.
Why don't you get him on together? There you go.
Yeah.
If you
music guys.
Bridge, I'm joining that podcast, whether you want me there or not.
Definitely.
Awesome. Well, thanks again. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
Cheers, man. Absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for having me on.
No worries.
Right. See you later.
See ya.
So that was our special guest, Scott Tailford, and thanks again for dropping into the Garnish.
That was something really I never thought I would do.
Yes.
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
really good. So we've been Gaming Garnish. Quick one that I never say is like and subscribe everywhere you can. So see you next time. Bye-bye.
Until next time.
Later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.